Welcome back to Get to Know the Gatemen on the Gateman Baseball Network, your studio show for all things Gateman baseball. I'm your host, Amanda Foster, and on today's episode, we'll cover the last week of games, show you all the highlights, go over roster changes, and give some more insight into a few Gateman players. As of the morning of June 23rd, the Gatemen are 4-6-1, in the middle of playing 14 games in 15 days due to a rainout earlier this week. Now, because of that, manager Ryan Smythe has had to alter some of his strategy, especially pitching-wise. There have been times where he keeps some pitchers in to eat innings, as he calls it, to ensure he has enough arms for the coming games. Now, let's take a look back at the past week of games. Sunday saw the Gatemen head to Chatham to take on the Anglers. The long-awaited debut of Nick McLean, the third McLean brother to join the Gatemen, didn't disappoint as he crushed a home run in his second at-bat. Bobby Bozer joined him, also hitting his first home run of the year, but the Gatemen fell 7-4. Father's Day was a tense one as the Gatemen were no-hit through 6 innings against the Bourne Braves. They trailed by 5 runs until the 7th inning, where a string of walks, stolen bases, and hits brought in 2 runs for the home team. Fast forward to the 9th inning, the Gatemen tied the game at 5 thanks to timely hitting from Will Cook and Dorian Gonzalez. Bourne scored 1 run in the top of the 10th inning, but a sacrifice fly from David Glancy was the game winner. The next day, the Gatemen once again rallied late to avoid a loss, but ended in a 4-4 tie against the Brewster Whitecaps. In what was a highly anticipated matchup between Ryan Smythe and his close friend Jamie Shevchik that ended really quite ironically, especially after what they had to say pregame. Check it out. Here on a special edition of the Manager's Show, joined by Coach Smythe and Coach Shevchik of Wareham and Brewster, respectively. And there's a lot of history between you two, coaching at Danbury, obviously coaching here at Brewster, coaching at Keystone. So just what's it been like coaching? You've been on the same side of the field up until today. What's it like knowing that you're going to be on opposite sides? Coach Smythe, I'll start with you.
It's definitely different. It's been 13, 14 years in the same dugout. I think actually this summer, the last 2 weeks, is probably the least amount that we've talked in a long time. So yeah, it's been different, but it's been a good experience for me.
And Coach Shevchik,
and the same. It's been weird. It's almost like I've just become used to to Ryan being around and in the dugout, and it was an adjustment for me. I mean, I showed up to Brewster this year with an entirely new staff and have to try to figure out how to run the lawnmower and do the lines and do everything else and run the offense. But it's been different. It's been a little bit of an adjustment, but obviously super proud of Ryan of getting the opportunity to be there.
Oh, and you mentioned it. You two won 2 championships here at Brewster. So what was it like coaching together?
It was awesome. A big part of the success that we've had here in Brewster, is because of Ryan and the other coaches that we've had. So I want them to obviously be successful in Wareham, not today, but and maybe not at the end, but certainly throughout the course of the year for sure.
And then what was it like for you coaching here?
He gave me an opportunity to start my coaching career and kind of continued on from there, and obviously the opportunity in the New England League and then the Cape. So obviously forever grateful. I do want to come out of this one with a win. I feel like my fall is going to depend on the 4 games that we play against each other this year. So hopefully we get one today.
Well, and I want to ask, when did you find out that you were going to be the Gateman head coach, and then when did you tell Coach Shevchik that you would be coaching against him?
I think he had an idea before I did, but it was sometime late September maybe, right around there, late September, early October.
And what was that initial reaction to finding out that Coach Smythe would be here in the Cape League?
I talked to administration at Wareham when the job was open, and I tried to make a push, as best as I can for Ryan. I think he obviously deserves it. But at first it was like, wow, once he got the job, I was like, yeah, man, it's like starting all over again now. So it was a little weird, but I was happy. We've been pretty tight for a long time, and this is probably going to be one of the cooler moments that I've had coaching in a long time.
Oh, and I've got to ask one last question. You guys have both kind of alluded to it, and I think everybody kind of wants to know, is this the beginning of any sort of rivalry between you two and these 2 teams? Either one of you.
I don't think it's going to be a rivalry. It's not a rivalry until we play each other in the championship. If we were in the same division, it'd be different. Then there'd be a lot more gamesmanship going on, and maybe some sabotage along the way, and I do everything in my power to try to win at all costs. But you guys being in the other division is a little bit different. It won't be a rivalry until we see each other at the end.
Anything to add?
I agree with that. Same thing. It'd be really cool to be the last two teams at the end. So.
All right. Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, man.
However, the next 3 games wouldn't be as successful for the Gatemen, losing to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 4-3, the Falmouth Commodores 12-2, and to the YD Red Sox 6-5. The loss to the Commodores was a rough one as pitchers struggled to find the zone, the defense gave up multiple free passes, and offense couldn't make consistent contact. And the next night against YD, things didn't get any better as the Gatemen gave up 4 runs in the 9th and loaded the bases to walk in the winning run in the 10th. They looked to right the ship, starting with Friday's home game against Chatham. Despite the skid the Gatemen seem to be on right now, we've still got some players to highlight. David Glancy, dubbed Wareham's favorite son by Ryan Smythe, still leads the league in home runs with 3. Here's some insight into how he plays the game after his walk-off sac fly against Bourne. Network player of the game. David, you come up to the plate in the bottom of the 10th. You've got runners on base ready to score. What's going through your mind?
McLean before me got the job done, that sac fly. Caleb did a good job getting the third base there and hustling. So they put me in a good spot, honestly. All I had to do was really put the ball in play. They had a good pitcher up there, and those, a little, makes you uncomfortable. So I just had to go up there and just put the ball in play, especially with 2 strikes. It's a fly ball wins the game. So I was just trying to do my job and just, help team however I can, especially coming off pinch, coming in the game in 7th inning or whatever inning I came in. But just wanted to come in and help the team win. And, I was thankful and lucky to be up the bat, and my teammates did the work for me, so it was awesome.
What does it mean to you to help them get this win?
Oh, it's great. We came off a loss, and we were down the whole time. So to come back and win and show that we have no quit is pretty good to see. So.
And you've had a great start to the season. You're the Gateman Baseball Network player of the game for the 2nd time in a row, a couple home runs, stolen bases. You're doing everything. What is the key for you to playing so well right now?
Just honestly, just taking it for what it is. Playing the Cape Cod and trying to tell myself I'm here for a reason. And, I worked really hard to get here, and everyone who's helped me along the way, this is for them too. And I just try to go out there and have fun, honestly. Each inning I go out there, I try to just, tell myself to look around and just enjoy the moment. So it's helping me take the pressure off myself. That's all I've been trying to do, and it's working, so I'm just keep rolling with it.
Great. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I touched on the arrival of Nick McLean earlier, and so far he's put up 2 home runs and 6 RBI with a batting average of .318. I had a chance to talk with him before his first game about what being here on the Cape means to him and what he's looking forward to. I'm here with Nick McLean, one of our newest arrivals. And Nick, my first question I got to ask, your older brother Matt played for the Gatemen. He's playing with the Cincinnati Reds now, having a phenomenal start to his career. But have you guys talked about what it's like being here playing on the Cape League?
Yeah, so actually when he played here, it was a different coach, but he loved it out here. It was a really good experience for him. And he struggled his freshman year, came out here and kind of turned it around and figured things out. So obviously he said the same thing. It's a good learning experience out here.
Has he given you any advice about playing out here?
He just said it's a grind. Just, bring it every day. Obviously there's all best players across the country here, so just be competitive.
And you, Matt, and then Sean, one of your other brothers, you all grew up playing baseball. What was that like, just growing up with brothers all playing the same sport and everything?
Super competitive household. As the baby of the family, I got beat up a lot. But they're both my people I look up to, so they give me a lot of good advice, so it's awesome.
And you just got to the Cape. You're going to make your first start playing your first game today. So just what are you hoping to get out of this experience, and what are the emotions that you're feeling?
I'm excited for sure. I'm hoping we can, go far in this thing. Personally, I just, be competitive, have good at-bats, help the team win, stuff like that. So.
And you've got a teammate in Ryan Campos also from ASU. So what's that like having a familiar face already here?
It's nice. I love Campy. He's an awesome teammate, so it's good that he's out here with me.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Good
luck
today.
Of course. Thank you.
Now, if there's one guy who's incredibly easy to spot from anywhere on the field, it's Zach Stewart. He's the guy with long blonde hair who always seems to have either his hat or his helmet falling off. And so, of course, I had to ask him about it. And I got to ask about the hair because it makes you very recognizable out in the field. Have you always played with long hair? Did you recently decide to grow it out? Just tell me the story behind it, if there is one.
I started growing it out my junior year. It was longer my senior year, and then brought it in my freshman year of college, and I've kind of just kept it since then. But it's kind of been a thing where it's just kind of grown on me, and I'm trying to keep it as much or as long as possible, but so far it's working well.
I heard you might have forgotten some of your products a few weeks ago. Have you been able to, what's the plan with that? What's going on?
Right now, I haven't really done much about it. I've been pretty tired, but I'm going to have to find something because I did leave it at home, and all my stuff that I do once a week is, well, probably not going to look as good, but got to figure it out.
I'm sure you'll find somewhere to get some stuff. So.
They'll have it,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. All right, great. Thank you. Good luck today.
Thank you.
A host of roster changes occurred once again earlier this week, so here are some of the most notable departures and arrivals. Infielders Cade Sullivan, Will Cook, and Dixon Black, catcher Caleb Pendleton, and pitcher Jack Bowery were among those released. Outfielders Zach Stewart, Josh Stevenson, and Nick McLean, infielders Grant Hussey and Garen Caulfield, catcher Ryan Campos, and pitchers Casey Talent and Aiden Major were among the arrivals. Looking ahead to the future, here's who's on the schedule. Chatham and Cotuit at home on Friday and Saturday, away at Hyannis, back home at Spillane for Brewster and Yarmouth Dennis, and 2 more on the road against Harwich and Cotuit to take us through the end of the month. No doubt it's a tough stretch, as always, but Ryan Smythe always takes it one game at a time, and so does his team. That just about wraps up today's show. For our producers and crew behind me, I'm Amanda Foster, and thanks for tuning in.
Whether it's auto, homeowners, business, or liability insurance, the folks at Legacy Insurance are sure to lend a helping hand. Legacy Insurance has built their reputation through their emphasis on service and loyalty to their customers. Stop into their Wareham office at 213 Main Street or call them at 508-295-1316.
Would you like to work for the United States Postal Service? We want you on our team. We have carrier openings all over the Cape. You must have a valid driver's license and a good driving record, and you must be able to pass a pre-employment background check. You can find all of the information on these jobs and other open positions at www.usps.com/careers. Your application will be accepted online only. Begin a great career at the United States Postal Service. Kiernan and McNally, LLP, is a law firm with an outstanding reputation for achieving successful results, helping a diverse range of clients with their legal needs. Our attorneys focus on your individual needs and achieve successful results. Call our office at 508-985-9888 to learn how ready Kiernan and McNally can help you.
Strike 3, you're out. The Wareham Gatemen are kings of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Back at Spillane tonight after the Wareham Gatemen took home a big win over the Chatham Anglers last night, 8-4. The first place Cotuit Kettleers come to town for a big West Division clash. Alongside Aiden Blanc, Jack Hunter here with you on the Gateman Baseball Network. And Aiden, felt good to get back in the win column last night.
Yeah, the vibes are great today because for the first time in a couple of games, the Gatemen finally really put it all together. The pitching was there, the hitting was there, and this is a serious team now. They prove they can, compete even when they get knocked down a little bit, and that's really good to see.
Cotuit had a great game last night, thrashing Falmouth by a final score of 12-1, so you got 2 hot teams coming in tonight. These 2 teams meeting for the second time this year after Cotuit took the first matchup 3-2.
Yeah, it was a really good game, terrific pitching. Tonight may be a little bit different. We expect maybe a little bit more offense. It was 3-2 the last time. Cotuit's been rolling. Wareham, one of the few teams that has been able to at least slow them down a little bit. First time in 2023 that they meet at Spillane Field. So should be a really good matchup again. 1 tonight in the West, 2 tomorrow in the West. So really big weekend coming up for the game.
Competitive pay, state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities in service, sales, accounting, HR, marketing, IT, and more. A job at Milton Cat, the Northeast Caterpillar dealer, is more than a career choice. It's a choice career. Visit miltoncat.com/careers to join their growing team.
summer, our players are able to track and monitor their development thanks to our title sponsor of the 100-year anniversary, Baseball Cloud, whose data tells the whole story. Baseball Cloud gives fans like you the opportunity to access each player's stats and historical data. Baseball Cloud technology is ushering the next 100 years of the Cape Cod Baseball League, inspiring and exciting the next generation of players and fans. Learn more at baseballcloud.com.
Back on the leadoff spot alongside Aiden, Blanc, Jack Hunter here with you, taking a look at our league standings. And Aiden, no big changes at the top. Harwich and Cotuit still controlling that there.
Well, it was a good night last night for the Gatemen. They're tied in third with the Bourne Braves. They drop out. They were number 4 last week in the power rankings. They drop out. Bourne is in at number 5. But that is going to be a very fun series because they meet a lot late in the season. So potential playoff seeding games decided down the stretch, including at Polar Park with the Braves. And well, it was really good last night because not only did they get 2 points, Falmouth got none. They continue to struggle. Only 3 wins on the season, got beat up by Cotuit. So long as Wareham can start to pull away, again, the top 4 teams get into the playoffs. And at that point, I don't think any of these guys really care what seed they are, so long as they are in the playoffs, because anything can happen. So as long as you can keep pulling away from the bottom of the division, stay out of the cellar, which they have so far, you're in very good shape to make a run in the postseason.
Cotuit at 9-3, and then Harwich first place in the East Division. They get a win over Orleans, who was playing good ball as of recently. They went from near the basement up top, and then Chatham still at the bottom of the East. They've got some work to do to climb back up in those standings.
Yeah, Chatham is, again, very few on the off days. The only off days they've had this year, or will have for the foreseeable future, are rain days. So it's been kind of rough for Tom Holliday's club. Lost a bunch of guys to USA. They'll get it back, though. Chatham's a team that, they showed last night they can persevere. Even going down, 5-1 early, they still fought. I fully expect them to be at least in the conversation come the end of the season.
Let's keep things rolling here on the leadoff spot. Here's Amanda with Ryan Smythe.
Back here on the Manager's Show with Ryan Smythe. And Coach, a big 8-4 win over Chatham yesterday. You put up 5 runs in the bottom of the first. After giving up 1, how important was it for the team to be able to bounce back that quickly?
That was huge. It was good for Brett, too. I mean, nobody wants to go out there and give up 1 in the first. And for our guys to kind of pick him up and allow him to settle in. And, people are going to see the offense yesterday, which was great to see. Don't get me wrong, but the pitching won that game for us. The pitching was fantastic. I said it before, there was only, I think, 2 free passes on the day. Guys came in, filled up the zone, and defense played well behind them.
Well, and it's clear you have a very talented team all across the board. So now going forward, how do you try to keep it more consistent throughout games and not necessarily maybe have it go up and down in waves the way that we might have seen in the past week or so?
I just think it's matchups. I mean, there's some really good arms out here that it's going to be hard to hit no matter what lineup you put in there. And we got the same thing. We got some really good arms that'll give anybody some trouble any given day. And it depends. It's the team that wants to be here, the team that wants to compete until the end, the team that has some fun playing baseball out here. And I think we have our guys right where we want to be.
And speaking of arms, Aiden Major starting on the mound tonight. First time he'll play here for the Gatemen. What do you expect from him?
I've gotten some text messages from former players of mine up here from when I was in Brewster that said, hey, you guys got Major. He's absolutely disgusting. Like, you're going to love him. So hearing that from somebody that I worked with last year that got to face him this year, that says all I need to know. I think he's going to do really well tonight, and we need another one.
Oh, and you mentioned fun. I saw you earlier during batting practice. You were out at shortstop with some of the guys fielding some ground balls. So what prompted you to go out there, and then just what was that like?
That was my workout for the day. I like keeping it loose with the guys, having fun.
Joined now by Landon Wallace. And Landon, last night you had 2 hits and a walk. Things were working for you at the plate. So what were you seeing that made you so effective?
I really took a breath, gave my time to see the ball out of hand, relax. Because baseball is as hard as it is. Don't try to be so tense while I'm hitting. Just let the upper body relax so it's easier to swing through.
What's it been like playing on the Cape so far, playing against these talented pitchers, but then also playing with a lot of talented teammates?
Well, it's great. It's honestly going to help you become better because everyone's good. The only way you can become good and you can succeed is just be better.
When you have a teammate from West Virginia, Grant Hussey, you were on the bases last night when he hit a grand slam in the first inning. So what were you thinking when he came up to the plate and then did what he did?
That's to me, that's normally what Hussey does. Hussey can swing the bat. He's going to bring in your RBI. So when he did that, I wasn't really that surprised.
What's it like having that sort of familiar face here? I know there are a couple West Virginia guys here now.
It's just easier on you don't have to make new connections. It's easier. You already have some guys, but you can also make new ones. But it's helped reassuring, you already know guys on the team.
And do you have any big goals that you want to accomplish here on the Cape this summer?
Just play winning baseball. Just bring wins to the program. That's all.
All right, thank you. Good luck today.
Central Railroad takes guests past marshes, cranberry bogs, dunes, and other places only accessible by rail. You can enjoy a daytime ride with narrated tales on the history of the canal and how cranberries are harvested. Or enjoy a relaxing weekday lunch or Sunday brunch. Maybe a sunset dinner train is just the ticket. Cape Train is conveniently located at the Buzzards Bay and Hyannis train stations in Cape Cod, Massachusetts, along the coast of New England. Come explore all the Cape Cod Central Railroad has to offer.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile believes that when small towns thrive, America thrives. That's why they're investing billions to bring fast, reliable, and affordable wireless service beyond the big cities to small towns across America. There's never been a better time to join T-Mobile. Visit T-Mobile.com/acrossamerica to find out more.
The Gatemen are proud to partner with Franklin Sports as the official batting gloves of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves courtesy of Franklin. From the Cape League to the big leagues, it's all hands on deck.
From Clem Spillane Field here on a Saturday night in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Welcome to Wareham Gatemen Baseball. It's the Cotuit Kettleers sitting at first place in the West Division, traveling across the bridge tonight to face off against the Gatemen. Alongside Aiden Blanc, Jack Hunter here with you. And Aiden, a rematch of a very solid game in just the third game of the season. This should be in a good one tonight.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. The next two nights, the Gatemen are going to play the best two teams in the West Division, and boy, could they use some points here. They were able to get a great win last night. The offense was bumping. And now tonight's the highly anticipated debut of Aiden Major. We get to see the West Virginia Mountaineer on the mound. And hopefully he can get the Gatemen some points before the trip to Hyannis tomorrow.
The Gatemen currently 7 points behind the Kettleers. They're only 1 point out of second place. Hyannis currently sitting there. Aiden Major, the pitcher on the bump tonight for the Gatemen, and here's how the Cotuit Kettleers will line up. Hitting leadoff, the second baseman wearing number 4, Emilian Pitre. Caleb Loma Vida will do the catching and hit second. Ryan Galaney hitting third. Ryan Walshman, the center fielder, in the cleanup spot. Cannon Peebles hitting fifth. Carter Matheson hitting sixth. Tanner Thatch hitting seventh. T.O. Banks hitting eighth. And then Kalai Harrison, the shortstop, hitting ninth. About ready to go here. Aiden Major in his Wareham debut. Working from the stretch, and we are off and running here. The first pitch missing down from Major. 74 degrees at first pitch at 5:58 Eastern Standard Time. The Mountaineer 1-0. Count even. Aiden Major mostly pitched out of the bullpen for West Virginia this past year. 18 out of his 21 outings coming in relief. First pitch. Cracked to right field. Under it is McLean for out number 1. So Major sees one batter. He retires one batter. And that'll bring up Loma Vida to the plate.
Oh, you can appreciate that. Again, Gateman pitching is not a strikeout kind of staff. They will strike some guys out, but they're not a strikeout staff. They will, a lot of them comfortable putting the ball in play. Because the defense, when they're on, they're on.
The Cal Bear takes strike one. Umpires tonight. Keith Peterson behind home plate. Jeffrey Kinney at third. And Mike Hinojosa at first. 0-1 fouled away. Major fastball, slider, and changeup. Can get up in the upper 90s if he needs it. 0-2 on the corner. Got him. Loma Vida goes down looking. 2 up, 2 down for Aiden Major.
2 outs before we even get to scheduled first pitch time. How about that?
Here steps Ryan Gateman, the Wofford Terrier. Still looking for a new home next year. Wofford with no grad school, so after 4 solid seasons, Galaney's got to find a way to use the last year of eligibility elsewhere. And he takes strike 1. Fun nugget I found today, Mike Roberts coached Galaney's coach at Wofford, Todd Interdonato. Shot to center. Glancy moving back more, and he grabs it in front of the wall. A loud swing from Galaney, but the Gatemen send the Kettleers down 1-2-3 in the top of the first. To the bottom we go. It's Cotuit 0 and the Gatemen coming up next on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Our title sponsor of the 100-year anniversary is Baseball Cloud, data that tells the whole story. This season, Baseball Cloud pays homage to the past while building the future. Their technology will help tell the story of the next 100 years of Cape Cod Baseball League history, inspiring and exciting the next generation of baseball players and fans. Learn how to bring the most accurate data and analytics to your organization by visiting baseballcloud.com.
Cape Cod Coca-Cola thanks you for supporting the Cape Cod Baseball League and refreshing yourself with ice-cold Coca-Cola products. Please remember to recycle empty bottles, cans, and other recyclable materials. It takes only 6 recycled plastic bottles to make a new baseball cap.
A pretty major top of the first, if we say so ourselves up here. Turning to the bottom of the inning, Cole Mathis on the mound for the Kettleers, the two-way guy, a first baseman, a DH in the field. Turn around here on the mound, the righty. This is how the Gatemen will line up against him. Josh Stevenson in the leadoff spot again. David Glancy hitting second with Nick McLean hitting third. Ryan Campos back at catcher tonight hitting cleanup with Landon Wallace hitting fifth and playing left field. Bobby Bozer back in the lineup as well, playing second base and hitting sixth. Grant Hussey, the man of the night last night, his 6 RBIs in the 7th spot, playing first base. Sebastian Murillo is hitting 8, and J.C. Colon at third base, hitting 9. Stevenson, Glancy, McLean, Campos, Wallace, and Bozer, Hussey, Murillo, and Colon, facing Cole Mathis, who is on the mound for the 3rd time this year for the Kettleers.
Leading off for the Gatemen, the designated
Mathis is a
LSU,
two-way player.
Number 16, Josh Stevenson.
I believe he had a big night at the plate yesterday. Josh Stevenson has had a couple of big games at the plate. We know he's been working with Mike Mobbs, and it's paying off. You can tell he is just having the time of his life out here, hitting really, really good.
First pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 1. Stevenson is 6 for 9 in his last 2 games. 4 for 4 versus YD, 2 for 5 yesterday. 0-1 to him. Off the plate.
Hard to beat that, huh?
Cole Mathis from Catala, Georgia. Harris County, right outside of Columbus. So hello to the folks tuning in from Catala tonight. 1-1 outside.
Our resident Georgia geographer.
Catala, Georgia, 40 minutes away from Point University, which is where Gateman assistant coach Gene Bowles coaches. Fouled off, out of play. Stevenson on the season, 389. That's 7 for 18. The lefty choked up a little bit here. Sees the 2-2 curveball high.
Nice full count run early.
I think we're getting some of the Cotuit radio broadcasts on our crowd mic. 3-2 at the plate. Stevenson fights it off. We can just, keep that in one ear. So
Yeah.
if they say anything cool, we can steal it from
Absolutely.
them, right? All jokes aside, Tyler Danberg, Joe Pratt, the guys at Cotuit, great guys, doing a great job this year for Cotuit. Glad to have them here tonight. Payoff pitch. Curveball dropped in for strike 3. Beauty.
It's a really good curveball for Mathis. Great start for him to take out Stevenson to start the inning.
Now batting, the center fielder.
You were talking
from
about
Notre
Tyler
Dame,
and
number
Joe
11,
over there
David Glancy.
in the cage. Tyler had a very cool video. He had he shot his pregame video for Twitter as he was climbing into the cage, and I shot back. I wish I possessed the upper body strength to be able to climb that thing and film at the same time.
First pitch inside to David Glancy, still at the top of the home run list in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Now he's got Hunter Hines, the Whitey Red Sox, to join him at 3. 1-0 off the plate.
And this is, I believe, the first time since opening day that the Gatemen are not at least having a share of first place in the home run category for the league.
Curveball down, now 3 balls and 0 strikes. We've got a good matchup today between two teams who do a fine job at hitting the long ball. Cotuit at first with 10, Wareham in second with 9. Glancy back in the field tonight, was the DH and hit cleanup the night prior. This is Mathis's first start of the season. 2 appearances, 1 at YD, 1 at home versus Harwich. Got an ERA over 5. Popped up on the infield. Petre calling it off, and he's got it for the second out. Here's how the Kettleers are lining up defensively today. Ryan Galaney at third, Kalai Harrison at short, Emilian Petre at second, and Tanner Thatch at first. And across the outfield from left to right, Tio Banks, Ryan Waldschmidt, and the Indiana Hoosier, Carter Matheson. Here's Nick McLean. Gets another early curveball. McLean got the much-needed day off for the Gatemen yesterday. Had played in his first 6 games with the team pretty extensively. Off to a great start, though. Check swing on the called strike.
Cool moment pregame. We got McLean, Campos, and Jacob Tobias, who is not playing yet for Cotuit, but is on the roster to get a picture.
94 on the gun from Mathis.
Just a couple of All-Americans that happen to also be Arizona State Sun Devils.
You always find a way for the ASU plug. 1-2, serve the other way, and it's going to dump over the head of Galaney and into left field. 2-out single for Nick McLean. The first hit of the game for either team. It's here in the bottom of the first.
Now batting,
McLean,
the catcher from Arizona State,
you
number
think
9,
of him
Ryan
as
Smythe.
a kind of power hitter, but he has the ability to just get on base, no matter how he does it. Ryan Campos, too.
Only 3 Gatemen in the starting lineup tonight were in the starting lineup when Wareham took the road trip to Cotuit on the 3rd game of the year.
And I think Cotuit's probably most happy that they don't have to see Mark Manfredi again, because he had a great outing. You know, they scratched that one out. 3-2, it was a great pitcher's game.
Manfredi scheduled to go tomorrow. First pitch to Campos. This one gets the outside corner. 92 on the gun. We're powered by TrackMan here tonight. In case you've been joining us this season, you probably know that TrackMan is partnered with the league to help publicize some of the metrics that the coaches, the baseball ops people are looking at when evaluating the players. We have them here on the broadcast, which is great. Cole Mathis's teammates at the College of Charleston call him Colhay, a Shohei Ohtani reference. 1-1 spinner, drops low.
Well, didn't we kind of start that last night with Yoel Ohtani?
This is in his bio, so I think it's super official. He's earned the nickname. We'll get to this one after the 2-1. Here it is. Chopped up the middle. Every time I say that, and out to end the inning. We'll get back to it in the top of the second. The Gatemen get a 2-out single and leave them stranded to the top of the second, no score.
hitter trained for 2. Hyannis Harvey will be
Welcome back to Spillane Field. Aiden Major worked a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the first. And for more on the righty, here's Amanda Foster. Amanda?
Well, guys, I talked to manager Ryan Smythe before the game about Aiden Major, and he said he's gotten a few text messages from players he coached in Brewster last year, saying that Major has, quote, disgusting stuff, and Smythe got a really good one in him. Smythe said that was really all he needed to hear and expects Major to have a really good outing tonight. And if that first inning was any indication, I got to go knock on wood as I say this, he's in for a good one. Back to you.
Thank you, Amanda. Aiden Major, a guy that Gateman fans should be very happy about. He's got a big fastball, sweeping slider. He's got disgusting stuff. In fact, this past year, he struck out almost 30% of the hitters he faced. And usually you get those high strikeout guys, and you get guys that also walk a lot of guys. He walked under 7% of the hitters he faced this year. So
And
a big-time out.
Yeah, I mean, he has got the stuff, and
center fielder from
with
Kentucky,
the
number 21,
departure of Manfredi and Coleman Picard, you're going to be looking for another guy that can go 5 innings, that you know, okay, he can take us 5 innings, he can, give us 5 scoreless innings or 5 one-run innings. I think Casey Talent has the ability to do that, and maybe, just maybe, Aiden Major can do that too.
First pitch to Ryan Waldschmidt to begin the second. Skips low, and you talk about 5-inning outings. Well, Major's best outing of the year out of the bullpen was in the Lexington Regional. 5 innings, picked up the win versus Ball State in a big one, county even. Got it to the 9th inning, faced only 1 batter over the minimum, 1 hit allowed, 8 strikeouts, no walks.
Wow.
It lowered his ERA 60 points.
And to go in relief like that, wow. That's really impressive.
Speaking of the Lexington Regional, the Kentucky Wildcat, Ryan Waldschmidt at the plate right now, one of 2 Kentucky Wildcats here in the starting lineup tonight for Mike Roberts' ball club. How about this for a debut last night? 4 for 4, a home run and 3 RBIs. 2-1, Hardy swing and a miss. Waldschmidt and Petre getting up here just a few days ago. 2-2.
Straight up.
Straight up in the air. Campos has got room on the warning tracker, does he? That one will just get over the screen. Both Petre and Waldschmidt played in their first game yesterday, and they picked a good time to join the Cotuit Kettleers. A 12-1 thrashing of Falmouth yesterday. 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3.
Oh boy.
Well, this is the kind of outing you need to have against a Cotuit team that, you're right, just put up 12 runs yesterday. They really made Falmouth look silly, and they clearly made that look like the best team in the West Division versus the worst team in the West Division.
Season high 12 runs on 18 hits. They also had a season high 3 home runs. Delaney, Waldschmidt, and Loma Vida to do it. Pitch now to Cannon Peebles, a switch hitting catcher. Peebles, since the last time we saw him, hit the transfer portal. NC State Wolfpack.
Yeah, I would say he's one of the biggest names in there right now.
1-0. Just down.
Peebles had an excellent spring at NC State. He will be on the radar for pretty much every Power 5 team in the country.
Real pop of the mitt, but now a 3-0 count. So continuing on that Cotuit note from last night, they set a single game high league-wide with 43 at-bats. A little random. 28 total bases as well, circling all the bases. And Major loses Peebles on 4 pitches.
Now batting, the right fielder from Indiana, number 12, Carter Matheson.
Carter Matheson, another lefty, steps up. Matheson, the right fielder. Matheson was involved in, I think it's safe to say, the craziest game of the year. Not last night, 2 nights ago, Cotuit and Hyannis. First pitch, big swing and a miss. We'll, I'm sure, get into that more as the game goes along. We'd be remiss not to mention it. Cotuit going into the 9th, winning 2-0, scoring 4 in the inning, and then Hyannis scoring 6 in the bottom half to tie the game, and then winning in the bottom of the 10th. Runner goes. Campos can't find it. And the check swing to no avail as Jeffrey Kinney makes the trot across the diamond. Stolen base for Peebles. That's what Cotuit does. They steal bases. It's the 32nd steal of the year. They're led by a guy in their dugout that I can proclaim is a base running guru in Mike Roberts. 1-1. Late strike call from Keith Peterson behind the plate.
Mike is also a Gateman guru. He was the coach for
go.
2 separate seasons, 1984 and 2000 here in Wareham. 1984, they went to the Cape League Championship Series.
And they led the league in stolen bases in both seasons that Roberts coached the club.
There you go.
1-2. Down. Roberts has written 2 books about base running. And the Pirates have brought him in spring training the past few years to give some base running tips to their guys. His first book, titled "You Can't Steal Second Base and Keep Your Foot on First." What a name. Peebles hopping at second. Count full.
Well, the Gatemen could use a little help in the base stealing department. They have 14 on the season. That's only 7th in the league. They could use some help on the base paths.
Payoff pitch on the way. Skied out of play and will do it again. Nice Wareham Middle School to our left. It's got the brunt end of a few foul balls hit its way.
You've been out of session for a couple of weeks, right?
The parking lot makes it seem like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Another payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Major climbs the ladder for out number 2.
Well, he has struck out every other batter in this ball game.
Now batting, the first baseman from
3 of
UNC
6
Wilmington,
batters
30,
have been struck
Tanner
out.
Thatch.
He's retired all but 1 batter so far. So a very powerful start, exactly what you would expect from a guy that, can go long outings like that, but is known for, overpowering the competition.
Thatch takes an overpowering swing and comes up empty. Tanner Thatch finishing his freshman year at UNCW this past spring. Seahawk hit .289. Major giving Peebles a lot of attention. Comes home and darts it down. Major's got some good velo to start this game. That one ticked at 94. I'm fighting the urge to use Major punts in every other sentence, Aiden. Gotta keep them for special occasions. The bottom of that pitch fell off. A nice slider, 1 ball and 2 strikes. T.O. Banks is on deck. Kalai Harrison in the hole. Thatch in the 7th spot, playing first base tonight for the Cats. Awaiting the 1-2. Here it is. No chase. Thatch is a big swinger. Hit 15 home runs this past year for UNC Dub. He's got 2 already here this summer. 2-2. Misses high and Major once again stumbling off the mound. Talked about Cole Mathis for Cotuit. Well, Thatch had a pretty good outing out of the bullpen last night. 2 1/3 scoreless. Payoff pitch en route. Chopped foul down the first base line. Got 2 teams that are good in these spots. The Gatemen are 4-2 at home. Cotuit 5-1 on the road. Cotuit still at the top of the league's power rankings. Released today. Hit to right. McLean coming in. He's got it for out number 3. So Cannon Peebles stranded on second. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score here on the Gateman Baseball Network.
Tom and Gene Yonke were passionate about baseball.
To the bottom of the second inning. And we got to continue this thought. Cole Mathis, his teammates call him that. He earned that nickname. Led the Cougars of College of Charleston this year in average, doubles, slugging percentage, walks, runs scored, 1 dotted on the OPS, 1.014, and also led the Charleston pitching staff with a 3.45 ERA. The Shohei Ohtani effect, but in Charleston. Landon Wallace steps in. First pitch to him. Cracked to short. Backhanded by Harrison. Long throw, and Thatch can't scoop it out.
Landon has very long legs, and he's able to leg that one out.
The second baseman from the University of South Florida, number 6, Bobby Bozer.
Wallace is heating up now. He had 2 hits last night, scored twice in the 2 spot of the lineup. Mathis had one of the most incredible stretches I've seen in college baseball this year in the CAA tournament. First pitch strike. So in the 6th inning, they're playing William and Mary. Game is tied at 1-1, 1-1. He walked to lead off the inning, stole second, scored the go-ahead run, and then he gets back to the dugout, picks to first, to no avail. Gets back to the dugout, goes straight to the bullpen. Warms up to get in the game on the mound. Gets subbed in from first base to the mound. Pitches 3 scoreless innings. This one dies at the plate. Pitches 3 scoreless innings. Picks up the save. Faced 1 batter above the minimum. Struck out 4. And kept Charleston's season alive. It's quite the 4 innings for the resident of Catala, Georgia. Bozer trying to work back in the count. Bobby Bozer still hitting just 129 on the year, but 10 walks has got his on-base percentage above 340. 1-2. Bozer lays it off. been a big point of emphasis for Bobby. And when he gets down in those counts, you're facing Cape League caliber breaking balls, and you got to spit on some of them to stay alive, and he's done that very effectively. He spits on a fastball, count full. The Gatemen brought it to the Chatham Anglers last night here. Final score 8-4 to get back in the win column for the first time since Sunday. Runner goes back to short. The only play that Kalai Harrison will have is to first. So Bozer moves the runner to second, but he is retired 6-3.
From West Virginia, number 27, Grant Hussey.
Here's the man of the night from last night, Grant Hussey. We're talking about all the game highs that Cotuit set last night. Well, Hussey, 6 RBIs, not only a Gateman season high for a single game, but the league high as well. Mathis going back to the curveball. Set at the belt. 0-1. Well, deja vu. And behind in the count, Hussey, 0 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Hussey hit his home run last night in an 0-2 count, so shouldn't be worried too much here.
He really liked that breaking ball that was being thrown by Witt. Bit right down on it and put it out near the flag post and right.
Grant also had an RBI double and an RBI single. 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Loma Vito will slap the tag on Hussey, who goes fishing for the breaking ball, and Mathis picks up his second strikeout.
Number 3, Sebastian Murillo.
Back in the lineup tonight, Sebastian Murillo. Murillo was 0 for 4 versus YD 2 days ago. Got some rest yesterday. Fouls it out of play. But Sebastian has had a strong year at the plate. 7 for 28, 5 RBIs, 5 walks. And he sees it in the strike zone, and he's now got to dig out of a hole. It's the Kettleers and the Gatemen, second of 6 meetings this year. 0-2. Good eye from Murillo. Mathis got 60 innings on the dot this year for the Cougars. He's now over 5 here at Cape Cod. Pitch. Murillo stays alive. J.C. Colon on the on-deck circle. Then it's back to the top and Josh Stevenson. No score here in the bottom of the second. Alongside Aiden Blanc, our producers Rachel Manning and Brandon Shank. Jack Hunter here with you from Spillane Field. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's turned out to be a nice night here. You've already received word about 1 game tonight getting canceled. That's Orleans.
Really?
Orleans, the field unplayable. 2-2. Spanner just misses up.
They were home?
Yep. Hyannis.
Yeah, so it sounds like the eastern part of the Cape maybe got more of whatever came than we did. We got it this morning. A little bit wet, but not crazy.
3-2 on the way. High fly ball golfed to left field. Banks settling under it, and he makes the grab for out number 3. So Landon Wallace's leadoff single gets stranded on second base. No runs, 1 hit, 0 errors, and 1 left for the Gatemen. We go to the third, still no score.
Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs at curry.edu.
We'd like to welcome our title sponsor of the 100-year anniversary, Baseball Cloud. This summer, Baseball Cloud's data and analytics tools are used across the league to enhance player development and your experience with live in-game and post-game data. Baseball Cloud is excited to inspire and excite the next generation of players and fans and bring the most accurate data and analytics to your organization. Learn more at baseballcloud.com.
Aiden Major still unscathed as we head to the third. 8-9-1 due up for the Cotuit Kettleers. That's T.O. Banks, Kalai Harrison, and Emilian Pitre. 0-0 your score. Kettleers still without a hit. Cannon Peebles reached base on a walk in the second. The Gatemen have hits in both frames and have also left both of those runners stranded. T.O. Banks, a member of the Tulane Green Wave, fouls it back. I think Tulane is another mascot where, can you be a singular Green Wave? Or do you just have to be a part of the wave? Do you have to ride the wave?
Well, ask Braden. He's a member of the, or was a member of the Darien Blue Wave.
0-1. Pumped in the strike zone.
Is there another wave in college athletics? I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Pepperdine Waves.
Ah. That's plural.
Yeah, so I feel like you could be a singular wave there.
Right.
0-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. Campos a jog out. Gun it to first, and Aiden Major now with 3 punch-outs.
Now batting, the shortstop from
So
NC
people
State,
that went to
number 7,
Pepperdine, the
Kalai
Pepperdine
Harrison.
alumni, do they say, I am a wave?
I believe you
or
can say
I
you're
am
a wave.
waves?
I
That
believe,
doesn't sound right.
I think you can say you're a wave if it's plural, like waves, wave.
Okay.
If it's already singular and it's just the Tulane Green Wave, it's a singular wave. You
I
have
am a
to
wave.
be a part of the wave. Anyway, here's Kalai Harrison. Bloop to left field. He placed it perfectly. It drops in front of Wallace, a one-out single.
We've seen some of the left fielders get hung up there down the line
Now batting,
when that
the
ball kind of
second
gets
baseman
squeezed
from
in.
Kentucky, number 4, Emilian Pitre.
I think that one
It just
was
feels like it's kind of cramped down there.
placed perfectly.
Yeah. Really good pitch. Or hit, rather.
Not a bad pitch, too. It
No,
was hit
yeah, you're right.
66 miles an hour off the bat. Back to the top, and Pitre. Runner goes first pitch. Campos scoops it out. Throw down to second. Tag. Got him. Wipe it away. 2 outs in the inning. A strike from Ryan Campos.
Yeah, running on Campy, never a good idea. Really good throw.
It's a tough pitch to throw on as well. The pitch skipped to the plate.
There's a reason that he was one of the names considered for Golden Spikes this year.
Base is empty. The 1-0 slider misses low and in. Pitre still looking for his first hit in the Kettleers uniform. 0 for 5 last night. Did get home in RBI. Second team All-SEC this past year for Kentucky. Rolled over to second. Bozer up with it. And Major faces the minimum in the third after Campos guns Harrison down at second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left here in the top of the third. We go to the bottom. Still no score.
The Church in the Pine.
Cole Mathis still rocking for the Cotuit Kettleers as we head to the bottom of the third here on the Gateman Baseball Network alongside our wonderful producers, Braden Shank and Rachel Manning, and my broadcast partner, Aiden Blanc. Jack Hunter here with you on a beautiful Saturday night. Over 70 degrees. It is officially short weather in my book. Cologne leading off the inning. Thinks about it and pulls back 4-1.
Not by the end of the game, though. It's been that basically every game this season has been shorts for BP and pans after.
I think we're going to have short weather after the game tonight, which is...
Is that right?
Which is big.
I'm comfortable right now. We're both... Oh, you're wearing shorts. You left me out to dry. I'm wearing
First
pants.
day of the year.
All right.
Cologne back in the box, shaking it off. Now down in the count, 1-2 strikes. I've been seeing Mike Mobbs, the hitting coach, work a lot with Stevenson, who's on deck, but also with J.C. Cologne, getting his hand set, seeing the ball a little more. Takes a fastball high, count even at 2 strikes. The Missouri Tiger back at third base again tonight. 2-2, foul tipped. And strike 3 for out number 1.
Well, the two takeaways for Mike Mobbs today. First one we got was LBs with BS. That's line drives back up the middle with backspin. And you're going to explain what that means, because that's all I got out of it.
First pitch to Stevenson outside.
I didn't want to interrupt his brilliance.
And then, did you get a second one?
Yeah. We don't want to be Timmy Topspin. We want to be Bobby Backspin.
There we go. 1-0. Curveball drops in. So you backspin the baseball. It carries a little bit.
Right.
Put some topspin on it. It wants to find the dirt.
Yeah.
I got a different Mobbism today.
Okay.
So he gave you 2 and he gave me 1.
So we got 3.
1-1. Fouled back. So I got get him on, get him over, get him in. You score some runs to win.
All right. Well, I feel like that's just a saying. That's not putting backspin on the ball. That's legitimately very good hitting advice.
Sometimes you got to simplify things.
It's, I guess, hitting advice versus maybe base running advice.
Just general baseball advice, base running, hitting.
Well, he's also
strategy.
he's also the third base coach, so I guess he does do both jobs.
2-2 now to Josh Stevenson. Here it is. Fouled back to the same spot.
That'd be a fun off-day project. Maybe we should design a couple of T-shirts based on his sayings.
Well, he's got a T-shirt in the cubby, the dugout tonight,
yes,
waiting for the player of the game if the Gateman can get a win. Hussey got one last night. Pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. Stevenson goes down. Back-to-back punch-outs here in the third for Mathis. That will bring up David Glancy to the plate.
Center fielder from Notre Dame, number 11, David Glancy.
David Glancy, in my opinion, had a really underrated game last night. We talked about Hussey, Stevenson, and Wallace had multi-hit efforts. Cologne had 2 hits. He sees a breaking ball in the zone, but sac fly in the first inning with the bases loaded that moved Landon Wallace to third base. Landon Wallace came around to score. And also had an RBI single that went under the radar as well. High chopper. Third baseman Glancy cuts it off across his body. And Mathis sends the Gatemen down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third. 6 half frames in the book, 0 runs on the board. We go to the fourth as one team tries to change that here on the Gateman Baseball Network.
Milton Cat is proud to support the Cape Cod Baseball League. From paving and landscaping to recreational boating and facility management, Milton Cat has the right equipment, parts, service, and technology to keep you working. Visit miltoncat.com to learn more.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military, veterans, and first responders. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more.
The 99 Restaurant and Pub is proud to be a sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Visit your local 99 and try their famous colossal lobster rolls piled high on grilled brioche and served hot buttered or with just the right amount of mayo and celery with fries and coleslaw. The 99, always the real deal.
Time called at the plate. Glancy has to put the wrist guard back on. Pitch. In there for a strike, 0 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Glancy, SoCon Player of the Year this past year. Pitch, foul back. Glancy, a 383 15 doubles, 17 homers, 19 stolen bases, walked more than he struck out.
That's always a good sign. Walking more than you strike out, that's a good stat. Not everybody has that. A lot of guys don't.
Foul back to the screen, 93 on the gun from Aiden Major. Ryan Galaney and Ryan Waldschmidt, the 3 and 4 hitters for the Kettleers tonight. Both homered last night. Mike Roberts puts them 3 and 4 on the card tonight.
Good to see a little velocity from Major. The Gatemen, last couple of nights haven't had too many hard-throwing guys. Good to see him, going into the mid-90s on the gun.
Just missing the corner. Galaney coming into this one 3 for 15 at the plate. Played yesterday for the first time in 7 games. Chop to short. Murillo charges it, up with it. And the 6-3 put out for out number 2.
Now batting.
Well, that was a hard hit ball, right?
Number 21.
Murillo, he just went after it. You love that defensively. To go right into that ball and say, I don't care if it takes a hop, I'm going to get this thing. And he comes away with a nice 6-3 put out. 2 quick outs for Major in his half of the 4th.
First pitch outside, and our friends at TrackMan had that one at 95 off the bat, so you are correct. Hit hard off the bat. You could just hear the crack of the bat and tell you that. Spinner at the plate. It'll trickle foul. You like a good summer ball name, team name. Waldschmidt played for the Ashboro Zookeepers in the Coastal Plains League last summer.
CPL's a fun league. They had the Savannah Bananas at one point.
Now the Macon Bacon are without a rival. Hit weakly, left side, Murillo, backhand, sidearm to first. Sebastian Murillo flashing the leather here in the top of the 4th. 3 up, 3 down for the Kettleers. We go to the bottom of the 4th. This game still tied at 0 apiece here on the Gateman Baseball Network. The beauty of baseball. Wareham scored 8 runs on 12 hits last night. Cotuit 12 runs on 18 hits. And through 3.5 innings of play, we have no score here from Spillane Field. Alongside Aiden Blanc, our producers Rachel Manning and Braden Shank. Jack Hunter here with you on the Gateman Baseball Network. McLean, Campos, and Wallace due up in the inning for the Gatemen. Wasting no time. Skying one. Shallow center field. Petre out. Makes the grab and almost bumps in to his Kentucky Wildcat teammate, Ryan Walshman, who gives him a little tap on the back. 1 pitch, 1 out for Mathis. So how about that? Petre just made the catch, almost ran into his teammate Walshman. They share a little tap there. And then Nick McLean in the Gateman lineup, retired. Now his Arizona State teammate, Ryan Campos, at the plate. The summer connections here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Campos, the lefty, swings at the first pitch too and fouls it back. Ryan started off the Cape season a little slow. He's now 3 for his first 17. One of 2 guys returning to Wareham this summer. This time going with the slider. Getting ahead, 0 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Campos had another strong year this year for the Sun Devils. And he sits on the 0-2 off-speed pitch, lays it off. How about a .388 batting average and a .503 on base percentage in 44 games for the catcher. And he takes a swing and a miss at a curveball. Another strikeout for Mathis. That's now 5 this evening.
Now batting, the left fielder from West Virginia, number 12, Landon Wallace.
What a difference a night makes. We were talking about it yesterday, going from the YD loss to Chatham yesterday. Wallace takes it inside. And from last night, in which you scored 6 runs in the first 2 frames, reached base 14 times in the first 4. Everybody was on base by the 4th. Wallace shoots it, foul territory, right side. And tonight, you got 2 hits, struck out 5 times. Not really had a big-time rally at all, at least not to this point. Glancy slightly in at third. Big front door breaking ball turns Wallace away. Two-one. Down and in. Wallace had a breakout year for West Virginia this past season after 2 years with Nevada. Had a really strong summer in the Northwoods League last year. Cracks one high and deep to center field. Waldschmidt looking up and kiss that baby goodbye. Landon lands that ball over the center field fence, and the Gatemen strike first here in the bottom of the 4th. You got to hit it well to hit it out. 400 feet out there at Spillane Field.
With that home run, Del Mar Vacations donates.
I mean, that's dead center field. That ball was over 400 feet. Wow.
Workforce Housing Initiative.
How about that? I mean, you really got to hit it to get it out to center field.
First pitch to Bozer, and Bobby rips one left center field, a base hit. This is going to split the gap. And when the left fielder Banks picks it up, Bobby Bozer is on second base. A 2-out double for Bobby Bozer. Some loud swings for the Gatemen.
Well, that's good. They're starting to hit him.
Bozer. And now batting for the Gatemen.
And now the Huss bus rolls in. Imagine what he could do in this spot.
So a note on Wallace. I mean, if you notice, you see him hit batting practice. He hits the ball the other way.
Right.
He hits the ball straight up the middle a fair amount. Hit 11 homers this year for West Virginia. 5 out of the 11 homers came to right field or right center field. It also won to dead center as well. So you're looking at more than half of his home runs not pulled. 0-1 count now to Hussey.
Dude has some opposite field power.
Trying to follow in the footsteps of his Mountaineer teammate. It's hit hard, but slicing foul down the left side.
Good look. Got to straighten that out. He goes down. It's twice now in 2 at-bats that he's gone down 0-2 in the count. So I want to change that up.
Bozer hanging off second. Harrison lurking behind him. 0-2. First base side. A tricky hop, but Thatch, late flip, to Mathis. Strange play, but that will do it. The Gatemen strike first here in the bottom of the fourth. A home run from Landon Wallace, his first in a Wareham uniform. 1 run on 2 hits, 1 left for the Gatemen in the bottom of the fourth. Let's go to the fifth. Wareham 1, Cotuit 0 on the Gateman Baseball Network.
The Wareham Gatemen are
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be a long-standing supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League and its contribution to the local economy as a treasured summer attraction. Cape Cod 5 is a community bank serving customers throughout Cape Cod, the islands, and southeastern Massachusetts. Founded in 1855, the bank's mission is to enrich the lives of those it serves while contributing to the health and vitality of its communities. Cape Cod 5 provides a full range of banking solutions, including personal and business banking, residential mortgages, investment management, and trust services.
The Gatemen are proud to partner with Franklin Sports as the official batting gloves of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Throughout the summer, all Cape League teams are wearing their own custom team batting gloves courtesy of Franklin. From the Cape League to the big leagues, it's all hands on deck.
Mike Roberts, in his 19th year for the Kettleers, makes the walk behind the batter's circle. Now straddled into the third base coaching box, and that means we're getting set here for the top of the fifth from Wareham. Alongside Aiden Blanc, Jack Hunter here with you on the Gateman Baseball Network, and that big fly from Landon Wallace in the bottom of the fourth ties Wareham at the top of the league rankings in home runs. It's now Cotuit 10, Wareham 10. Can Cotuit respond here in the top of the fifth? Aiden Major on the mound for the Gatemen, trying to make sure that doesn't happen. Peebles, Matheson, and Thatch here in the fifth. Working from the stretch, first pitch. Breaking ball off the outer half. Peebles walked, stole second, was stranded there in the second. The switch hitter, hitting lefty for the second time. A cut and a miss. Peebles comfortable at the designated hitter spot. Was playing behind Jacob Kozard, a big-time catcher for NC State this past year, so most of the year in that role. 1-1 high and out. So coming to the Cape this summer with the hope of trying to get some more playing time behind the plate. He did so last night. Him and Loma Vida switching tonight. Fouled back right our way. Major now set here in a 2-2 count. 3 strikeouts in what has been a clean outing so far in his Gateman debut. The rising junior has the sign. The 2-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. Peebles goes fishing. No catch.
now batting the right fielder from Indiana, number 12, Carter Matheson.
Here's the Indiana Hoosier, Carter Matheson. Bat rested on the shoulder. Sees the first pitch low from Major. Matheson got a bump in the average this year, went from 273 to 311 in his sophomore campaign for Indiana. A little bit of a dip in power, so you give and you take. Set a single season freshman home run record his freshman year with 19 long balls for Indiana. Still in double digits this year, but dropping to 10. Pitch, misses high, 3 balls and 0 strikes. Matheson off to a slow start here at the Cape, now 0 for 10. Looking for the big first hit. That one goes on the roof of the Wareham Middle School building. This field also serving as the home for the Wareham Vikings. at Wareham High School. So you got the scoreboard in right center, Vikings on the left, Gateman on the right. 3-1. And Major loses Matheson, a one-out walk here in the top of the 5th.
The first baseman from UNC Wilmington, number 30.
Second
Tanner
walk of the
Thatch.
day for Aiden Major. Wareham at 5-6-1, tied for 3rd in the Western Division with the Bourne Braves, who are heating up. Cotuit 9-3, top of the West with some cushion. First pitch is a strike to Thatch. Seeing Matheson just hop around on first. That's something that Mike Roberts really wants his guys to do. Slider catches enough of the zone. Said he wants their runners to dictate the running game, not the pitchers dictating the running game. And also wants his guys as comfortable off the base as they are standing on the base. To first, back safely. 2 main tenets for him. Got to be confident off the base, and that comes with repetition. And it also comes with athleticism, too, being able to hop quickly in both directions. You saw Matheson do to get back to first. 0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. A beauty of a slider. The second strikeout of the inning for Aiden Major. His 5th one of the evening.
Now batting, the left fielder from Tulane, number 36, T.O. Banks.
Correction, that's his 6th one of the evening. Here's T.O. Banks. Banks, the tall righty from Tulane. Before he sees a pitch, Major checks back. Banks' arrival today to Spillane Field was great news for our MLB scout liaison and assistant GM intern, fouled off the Massive Campos. Eli Scher, student manager at Tulane. He's a big T.O. Banks fan. I've been hearing about it for days. I don't blame him. Banks had a fantastic run in the AAC tournament. In case you missed it, Tulane, the lowest seed ever to win that tournament. A 7 seed as Campos meets with Major on the mound. Home plate umpire Keith Peterson trying to shake the cobwebs. But Banks went 11 for 16 across 5 games in the AAC tournament. 11 RBIs, 2 doubles, 3 homers. Propelled Tulane to the NCAA tournament. Matheson still drawing a lot of attention over there. Banks coming into this one 3 for 15 in 4 games. Had a hit and an RBI last night. Pitch, and it hits him square in the back. So we talked about Major's strikeout stuff. He's got 6, but now 2 walks and a hit batter. And that matches what the Gatemen did as a team last night. Here's Kalai Harrison. One of 2 guys reigning from the state of Hawaii in this lineup. Loma Vida and Harrison. First pitch over our heads. Member of the Wolfpack at NC State. 0-1. Down and in. Harrison played 2 years for Texas A&M. Fell out of the lineup, had a difficult sophomore year, then transferred to NC State. Started all 57 games this year. Split between second and short. Matheson on second, Banks on first, 2 outs in the inning. Cracked up the middle, a base hit into center field. Matheson is going to come around to score. Glancy is going to chuck it into third, cut off by Murillo, and this game is tied at 1 with a loud swing from Kalai Harrison. And Ryan Smythe jumping out of the dugout. Get the sense the leash was tight for Major, who was great through 4 innings. Got 2 outs here in the 5th. The 2 runners on base are going to be his responsibility as the bullpen door opens. So Major 4 2/3, 2 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. 1 run to his name now, with the potential for more. Riley Eichhoff, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer, is climbing the bump to take his warm-up tosses, and we're going to hit a break here on the Gateman Baseball Network. When we come back, we'll tell you all you need to know about the new Gateman pitcher making his debut. Major off the mound after 4 2/3 this game, tied at 1. The new pitcher for the Wareham Gatemen is Riley Eichhoff from Coastal Carolina. Had a very strong season in 2023. The redshirt sophomore pitched to a 4.43 ERA, 6 starts, 3-1 record. His first pitch, little excuse me swing, a tapper down the third base side from Emilian Pitre. Back to the top of the order for the Cotuit Kettleers. First and second with 2 outs. Eichhoff put in the game a little bit of a jam here. All he needs is 1 out. The righty set at the belt, delivers, and it catches the low part of the zone. Eichhoff's brother Nate pitched for the Harwich Mariners in 2018. Eichhoff saved his best for the last part of the season. Runner goes, and it's hit right up the middle. Bozer's going to stop it, but it's going to be an infield single and an RBI for Pitre, and the Kettleers take the lead.
Unfortunately, that run is Major's responsibility. Would put him in line for the loss.
Pitre on first, Harrison on second. Now 2 hits in the inning for the Cats after just one hit in the first 4 frames.
Yeah, maybe this is where we start to see the offensive game that we thought we were going to have.
Loma Vida. He takes a big swing and fouls it back. Loma Vida homered yesterday. 402 feet. So we talked about Wallace's home run in the last frame as being well tagged. Well, Loma Vida hit a similar shot last night. 0-1. Foul tip. Campos secures it. Oh, 2 count. The pitch chopped off over the Gateman dugout. Caleb off to a good start this year. 7 for 21 in his first 6 games. Got activated shortly after the Gatemen played at Cotuit in the 3rd game of the year.
Action in the Cotuit bullpen. Don't be surprised if Mike Roberts goes for the 5th.
Loma Vida just gets a piece of it. He'll have another life. Cotuit with 2 runs on 2 hits. A walk and a hit batter in the inning as well. The Gatemen turn into Riley Eichhoff out of the bullpen. To third. Cologne goes the short route to second. And that'll do it for the top of the 5th, but the Kettleers get 2 across on 2 hits. They leave 2 stranded, and they take the lead as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Cotuit 2, Wareham 1 on the Gateman Baseball Network. Okay. To the bottom of the 5th we go. And our 3rd member of our crew, Amanda Foster, with us here. Amanda? Looks like we lost Amanda here in the bottom of the 5th. Unfortunately, technology does not always succeed, but we got one good hit from her today. Chase Hopewell, the new pitcher, the 6'4" righty from Cincinnati, climbs the hill. Hopewell is pitching in his 4th game of the year, and he's been pretty fantastic so far for Cotuit. 7 innings, 0 earned runs. And to take us the rest of the way, here's Aiden Blanc. Aiden?
Hey, thanks, Jack. Cotuit, as we mentioned, goes to the bullpen. And the Gatemen will come to the plate in the bottom of the 5th, batting 8, 9, and 1. Murillo, Cologne, and Stevenson. Only the 2nd time they will turn over the lineup tonight. Pitcher for Cotuit is Chase Hopewell, a righty out of Cincinnati, redshirt junior. Hopewell with those luscious locks on the mound. He's entering his senior season with 15 starts in his junior year. 2-6 record of .579 ERA. Led the Cincinnati staff in starts, innings pitched, strikeouts, and runners picked off. 8 starts in conference play. And in 3 games, he tied his season high with strikeouts with 6.
Had a good duel today between two starters. Mathis leaves the game, 4 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run allowed, 0 walks, and 4 Ks. Major, 4 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts.
Well, here's one for you, Jack. Last summer, he played in the Great Lakes Collegiate Baseball League with the Hamilton Joes. I'm looking it up right now. I got to see this mascot.
What is a Joe? Is it like
I don't know.
a dude?
I need more information on this team. Strike to Murillo.
Hopewell goes fastball, slider, changeup, occasional curveball. Fastball sits in the low 90s.
The team's namesake, according to Wikipedia, is Joe Nuxall, who is a famous Cincinnati Reds pitcher. Count is 0-2. The Joes in the Great Lakes Collegiate Baseball League. Popped up foul right side. The count is still 0-2. Murillo flew out. He's opening at bat. Oh-2. Full wind from Hopewell. Fires it low. He eclipsed 100 career strikeouts this spring in his second win of the season against USF with Bobby Bozer. The 1-2 swings through it, and Murillo's retired for the opening at bat, or for the opening at bat of the 5th, rather. He's out. Here's J.C. Cologne. Relatively quiet for his standards after being used to getting on a lot. He's a guy who is, very hard to get out multiple times in a game. Been an anchor in the 9 spot out of Missouri. Takes it high, ball 1. One-0 the count, and the hitter is Cologne. The pitch, inside, 2-0.
So for all of our wannabe Gateman gurus out there, J.C. Cologne, teammates last summer in the Appalachian League with both Yadi Hernandez and Danny Frontera.
2-0 to the righty. Lands in the zone.
And if you like a good mascot, how about I give you the Burlington Sock Puppets?
2-1 on the way. Another looping breaking ball that evens out the count at 2-2. Hopewell on the mound, a transfer from Findlay University in Findlay, Ohio. That's D2. The 2-2 outside, and the count runs full. Kind of a semi-Cologne crouch there. Didn't do it fully.
Semicolon.
Oh, JC's making us laugh. The 3-2. Chopped on the ground, foul.
Maybe that's what we could call it, the semicolon. Maybe just the semicolon.
Another payoff pitch to Missouri's third baseman with Stevenson waiting on deck. Offers. Popped up off the inside of the bat. Second baseman Petrie has it. 2 quick outs out of the bullpen for Hopewell. Hopewell would be in line to get the win because Mathis only went 4 innings.
Number 16, Josh Stevenson.
If you look at Hopewell's numbers, you think maybe he's a guy that can take him, more than the average reliever, take him maybe 3 innings in this game, depending on when they want to use him again. Probably also want to get him a start at some point. So Stevenson comes in 0 for 2 and a pair of strikeouts. The 9-1 hitters, Stevenson and Cologne, who have been kind of the backbone of this Gateman offense, are 0 for 4 tonight with 3 strikeouts.
I think one of the biggest things about Cape League baseball that's different is the quality of the long relievers that come out of the pen. We've seen it night after night. Guys come in 4th, 5th inning and just shove, get to the 7th or the 8th.
And that's partially because a lot of them are starters. You know, some of them are transitioning into or out of bullpen roles. You know, no one really has a specific role with these teams. No one's, you know, specifically a starter or specifically relief. It's kind of whatever's needed that night.
Well, you know, too, if you're in the college game in the spring, if you go to the bullpen in the 4th or the 5th inning, bring a guy out, I mean, sometimes it's a little hit or miss. We've seen past few nights guys come out of the pen and just be dominant.
2 on his high.
Tommy Molsky last night for Chatham, 4 innings, 1 run. Day before, Shees for YD, 5 innings, 2 runs. Telfer and Hunt the night before, Falmouth, 2 2/3 innings apiece.
3-1 outside. And a walk for Stevenson. Happy to see him back on base. Brings up David Glancy, 1 on 2 out.
From Notre Dame, number 11, David Glancy.
I love how David Glancy gets in the box. Before he gets in the batter's circle, stops, takes a deep breath. Before he gets in the batter's box, does the same thing. He is fully mentally locked in when it's time to go.
They checked him. First baseman Thatch wasn't even on the bag.
Might have been the hardest pickoff throw I've seen all season. I channeled that energy to the plate.
Yeah, another hard pickoff. And again, Thatch doesn't even have his foot on the bag. He's not even holding the runner. He is, but just strangely. Finally, a first pitch for Glancy. Gatemen are on the road tomorrow. Another West Division opponent, Hyannis. And then back here, first meeting at Spillane Field with Brewster. Monday night. And then, knock on wood, we get an off day on Tuesday. That's, you know, if there's any rain, that doesn't happen, but knock on wood, it would be the first scheduled off day in a little bit, to say the least. And we know at least 2 games are going to have to be played on that day. So there will be Cape League baseball to watch.
Man, they're never going to call this a balk because pitchers get away with it, but, I mean, Hopewell's back leg was bending down like he's going to the plate, and then he flipped to first. A lot of pitchers get away with it, but by rule, that is a balk.
1-0. Glancy, right side number, off the glove of Petrie. So, everybody advances 90 feet. See how they score that, either an E4 or an infield single.
Number 15, Nick McLean.
And now Nick McLean suddenly gets up with a 2-out rally brewing. They give him a single there, so they avoid the error at second base. Now Nick McLean, who singled earlier, gets a chance to shoot in the tying run, which right now is Stevenson on second base. The first pitch, nope, steps off.
That's his disengagement. You see the 1 coming from the umpire, Jeffrey Kenny. If you throw that ball there back to short, you don't get one.
One-0. Gateman scored first, now trailing by 2, run. Just tied 2-0. Campos is on deck. Crowd eagerly watching on for the 2-0 pitch. Deals it. Swing and a miss. Blew it by McLean, 2-1.
Good crowd here tonight at Spillane Field. You got two franchises that have good fans. Cotuit, Wareham. You get loyal fans showing up to the ballpark day in and day out, and Cotuit's traveled pretty well. Wareham, you see a lot of similar faces on a daily basis. Good to see some people here at the ballpark tonight.
2-1 is out, and McLean's in a hitter's count at 3-1.
You've been treated to a good game so far. We've seen everything. We've seen good pitching. We've seen some loud swings, good plays defensively, a tight game. We still got a long way to go.
3 balls and a strike. McLean readies, pops it up, foul, and now the count is full.
The runners are going to get a head start here. Stevenson from second, Glancy from first. So if you can put something on the ground, find a hole, or get one in a gap. If you get one in the gap, both runs can come around. You can take the lead again.
Glancy, Stevenson on the bases. Payoff for McLean. And the bases are loaded. So Hopewell starts strong, but is now allowed 3 to reach.
The catcher from Arizona State,
and it feels like a great time for Ryan Campos to get on for the first time. As you mentioned, they're going to get a head start if he goes late in the count.
For Hopewell, it's going to be hard to get those low strikes because he's coming from so over the top. The ball's coming down. It's hard for the catcher, Loma Vida, to pull it up.
And you can't get away with anything when Ryan Campos is at the plate. He is notoriously one of the most patient hitters in the country collegiately. If you want to get him out, you got to throw strikes. 1-0. Holds off again. 2-0. 2 great takes to start the at-bat. Exactly what you would expect from the Wareham veteran.
And Hopewell's frustrated, and you can see Ryan Galaney, the third baseman, leadership here. Calling time, mound visit, gathering with the shortstop Harrison and Loma Vida. Galaney's telling him, look, you didn't get the low pitch in the last at-bat for ball 4. You didn't get the high pitch there, but that's in the past. You can't control it now. You got a 2-0 count. You got to attack him. You got good stuff. That's what this conversation is about on the mound.
And this is kind of a breaking point in the count. It's 2-0. Campos could very easily make this a 3-0 count. You have to throw him a strike here. Campos digs in and readies for the 2-0. Swings through it, high in the zone, 2-1. That was 93. And now we've gotten it back. Two and 1 the count. Bases loaded with 2 out. Deals. Low, and Campos draws a 3-1 count.
Low, Robert. Quiet, Robert. No way.
Mike Roberts is is 1 word away from getting tossed from this game.
Yeah, Mike Roberts is having words with our home plate umpire.
He's got to be careful.
Throw him out. Throw him out. For 19 years of this crap.
The former UNC head coach is trying to stand up for his pitcher.
Good. Good. Get him out. Get him out now.
Yeah, here we go.
We got a warning.
He's lucky he got a warning.
That's the warning bell.
The warning bell is out.
All right. Well, that just adds to the anticipation of this situation. The bases were empty. There were 2 out. Stevenson walked. Glancy singled. McLean walked. And now Campos in a 3-1 count. Takes a strike, and the count goes 3-2. A delayed call from behind the plate. Wow.
Well, I'm not saying Roberts had anything to do with that, but Peterson's thinking if you get ball 4 there, you're going to have to deal with the manager in your face. So maybe the tactics paid off there.
Even bigger pitch now. The payoff to Campos. And he takes outside to walk in the run. Tie game at 2 as Campy draws ball 4.
Got your eyes on Mike Roberts right now. His helmet is off. He's got I think he says one thing. I mean, the leash is tight here. That pitch did appear to be off the plate, though.
Mike Roberts is waiting patiently next to the screen there. Ball lands in the zone, a strike to Landon Wallace. Well, Wallace has had one great night. A single in the second, and then a home run that he got every bit of in the fourth. Got to be very careful pitching to him with the bases loaded. 0-1, go-ahead run is on third. Just outside, 1-1. I think the entire crowd here is waiting for Mike Roberts to say something else.
Or for a loud swing here at the plate. 2 homers, 2 grand slams displayed.
Swing and a miss, way in front of it, 1-2.
That was a changeup. I mean, the spin rate on it, powered by TrackMan, 1585. Anything under 2,000 for a changeup like that is elite. I mean, that pitch was practically knuckling at this point.
1-2. Hopewell deals. And Wallace takes it low to even out the count.
Got an experienced hitter in Landon Wallace, and that's an experienced take. A sophomore, junior take. You can see those balls down.
Deuce is wild. Base is loaded. Wallace swings and misses. 2 of the 3 outs retired via the strikeout. Gateman get a run back. It comes on 1 hit, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. To the 6th we go. Great game, 2-2 on the Gateman Baseball Network. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and online classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in accounting, criminal justice, education, nursing, and our new 100% online MBA, visit curry.edu.
Rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit MiltonCat.com, your area cat dealer. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game.
T-Mobile is proud to sponsor the Cape Cod Baseball League. T-Mobile is committed to serve those who serve, and that's why they go above and beyond for our active duty military and veterans. Visit your neighborhood T-Mobile store or T-Mobile.com to learn more. Welcome back to Spillane Field, a new pitcher for the Gatemen, and it's Keegan Allen, his second outing of the season. Very much in need of a bounce back, Jack.
Yeah, he was a part of that blow-up inning the other day in Falmouth that, quite frankly, just was not a good inning for the Gatemen. They gave up 5 runs in the frame, 2 hits, and Allen's line, he got 1 out and gave up 5 earned runs, walked 3, hit a batter as well. Control was just the main thing. Everybody knows he's got good stuff, but better conditions tonight for him. Home, good weather, he's been here for a little bit longer.
Low strike, 0-1. Got Loma Vida, Galaney, and Waldschmidt, the 3 in this inning. Or rather, Galaney, Waldschmidt, Peebles. 0-1 is fouled off. In between innings, Mike Roberts had even more words for our home plate umpire. And this is something only Mike Roberts could stay in this game. He went back for seconds. It's pretty impressive. Murillo has been a magnet at shortstop. Another putout for him. What a great defensive game he's having.
Well, that's 2 balls that he's fielded that have been hit 95 miles an hour off of the bat, and he's played them both perfectly. He's charged them a little bit, not letting them eat him up, and he's got great hands too. Just seems like the ball finds his glove. And I mean, Mike Roberts going back for seconds, thirds, and fourths. It's like me and you in the post-game meal line. I mean, we can't get enough.
Swinging and miss. Swinging and missing is Waldschmidt. So there are 5 West Virginia Mountaineers on the roster. All of them have gotten in tonight. 0-1. Outside. I got to check my math on that. Wallace got in. Hussey still in. They're both still in. Major started. And now we're up to Allen. That's 4. So that was 1 off. Another swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
Cronkite has good math classes.
1 and 2 the count. The 4th Mountaineer we've seen in this game. Second on the mound. That ball just slipped out of his hand, skipped before the plate. 2 and 2.
I saw Keegan out there with Danny Frontera today painting the batter's boxes. So he's looking at all of his work that has gone down the drain here in the top of the 6th. You can see very little of it left.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Well, what a bounce back it's been so far for Allen. After he got rocked around a little in Falmouth, he's retired 2 in a row to start this ball game. And now hopefully he can get a 3rd. It's Cannon Peebles who has walked and struck out. But watch out, he's due. Always seems to be when he gets up. First pitch on the way to the designated hitter from NC State is inside.
Keegan just looks a lot more comfortable, and it makes sense. Like I mentioned, home crowd, been here for longer, good weather tonight.
Just low 2-0. It is a good crowd for a Saturday night. Hopefully even better on Monday. The Ashland, Virginia native at the plate. Pops it left side, foul ground, racing over Wallace. Does he have it?
Overran it.
No, he just overran it.
It is foul, though, says the home plate umpire. Keith
Peebles
Peterson
was ready to leg that into a triple. And Mike Roberts is at it again. Well, this is really impressive. This is the 3rd altercation in less than an inning that Mike Roberts has had with an umpire.
Well, so the home plate umpire, Keith Peterson, signaled foul.
Oh, boy.
And I think the third base umpire, Kenny, may have done something different because Mike Roberts is saying, like, what are we doing here?
And he's still in the game. I mean, that's impressive. He's going back for more. I don't believe this guy. Wow. Mike Roberts. What a guy.
He's fighting for his players, though.
Yeah, he is. He's standing up.
I mean, you want to play for a coach that is going to
absolutely
stand
try
up for
and
you.
Spark a little bit, Get this team going. It's 2-1, 2 out. And Peebles is still at the plate. Mike's now just standing at third base, his arms crossed. Inside, it's 3-1. Peebles was on the ACC All-Freshman team this spring. Led the Wolfpack in batting average. .697 slugging percentage and .456 on-base percentage. There's strike two. Mike Roberts' helmet has come off. He's still screaming. He's getting every word and then some down at third base. Helmet's back on. 3-2 is incoming. And it's low. That one's ball 4. And Peebles finally draws the walk with 2 out.
But great at bat for Cannon Peebles, the second walk of the game, and just considering all the shenanigans, adversity that happened in that plate appearance between the foul ball down the left field line, the strike 2 call, everything that's been going on in this game, to work a walk, impressive from the catcher, the DH tonight.
Gateman did a lot. They tied the game with 2 outs last inning. Now here's Carter Matheson, scored one of the 2 runs last inning. Count is 1-0. The Indiana Hoosier. With Peebles off first, check back and he's safe.
I was today years old when I found out that Mike Roberts' son was Brian Roberts, who played 14 years in the big leagues, 13 of them with the Baltimore Orioles.
1-0. Inside, 2-0.
And it makes sense that Brian Roberts is the son of the base running guru himself, Mike Roberts, because Brian Roberts still owns the school and SEC record for stolen bases in a season with 67.
Well, you gotta love that. The 2-0 is low, 3-0. Matheson appeared in all 59 games this season for Indiana, 57 starts. The majority of them, 37, as a designated hitter, but also started 16 times in left, 4 times in right. And he's drawn a walk. Both teams rallying with 2 outs in the inning. Cotuit now with 2 runners on base.
Number 30.
And the thing that's so tough in the Cape Cod Baseball League, we talked about long relievers having great outings. You can't really find holes there on the pitching side. The batting side, in college, you walk a few guys, you get to the 7 and 8 spot in the lineup, you may not have to pay. But every batter you face in this league, no matter where they are in the order, is a stud.
Strike 1 to Carter Matheson. I beg your pardon, Tanner Thatch. 0 for 2. Thatch. The two-way player takes it inside 1-1. He threw yesterday, went 2 1/3 innings against Falmouth, gave up 1 hit, struck out 2, and faced 7 batters. This season, he's recorded 30 at-bats with a .267 average and a pair of home runs. 1-1, 2-1. He's out of NC Wilmington, where he was the CAA Rookie of the Week 3 times this past season. Set freshman records at his school with 15 home runs and 68 runs batted in. It was all rookie CAA and an all CAA honorable mention, as well as a freshman All-American. Rips one to right. That's down on McLean. They hold him. No, they're going to send him. The throw's on the money, and it beat him by a mile. McLean to Campos. Find me a better combo. Nick hoses him down from right, and the inning comes to an end. The last of the 6th when we come back. 2-2 game. It's a good one on the Gateman Baseball Network.
From the University of South Florida.
Welcome back to Spillane Field. We go to the last of the 6th with the Gatemen in a 2-2 game. And Bobby Bozer leading off. It's another inning on the mound for Chase Hopewell. Cincinnati senior lets Bozer fly one to deep right field and over the fence. Bobby bombs away, and the Gatemen are back in front, 3-2.
Bobby backspin, baby. Mobism. Bobby backspun that baseball over the right center field fence. It's another area of the ballpark you gotta tag it well to get it out of there. And boy, oh boy, did Bobby do that.
That's one of those balls that just hit the alley and it just carried out. He put a little backspin on it and he gives the Gatemen the lead, making it 5 of the last 6 Gatemen batters to have either walked or gotten a hit. His obviously the big one. Brings in the run, and now Grant Hussey. The 1-0 is low, 2-0. And you know Huss wants to get in on this party. He saw where Bobby hit it. He's thinking the exact same thing. His ball flew out to right last night, but if he got one into that stream as well, I mean, that ball could go. It'll be a 2-0 to the West Virginia first baseman, and he hits a hard foul ball.
If Bobby can serve a ball, opposite field, wood bat, big ballpark, Cape Cod Baseball League, imagine when he gets back to South Florida. You put the medal in his hand.
The 2-1. A strike. No, that was a ball, 3-1. Well, Mike's come off the wall there. He was leaned up against the fence. He's come back. 3-1. High fly ball. Left field. Carrying. But just missed it. Banks able to camp himself underneath it. He had the right idea, but couldn't quite sneak it out.
From Georgia, number 3.
They're going to go back to Murillo. That shortstop 0 for 2.
That was hard hit, too. 97 off the bat. If he had gotten that one over the fence left field, I mean, that would have been such an impressive display of opposite field power.
Yeah, you can see the right field, up in right field with the flagpole. The wind's blowing to the right. Murillo slashes one over the glove of Thatch. Has himself a nice base hit. Thatch is big. He had to elevate that thing. But as we were saying with Hussey, the ball's wind is really blowing to right. And so to nearly hit one out and left, that is very impressive on a night like this. Mike Roberts coming to the mound. And this may be it for him. Looks like the Gatemen are going to go to a pinch hitter, and it's going to be Zach Stewart. It's a little odd. He's going to hit for Cologne at third base. So that tells me he's getting out. He likely doesn't see defensive action here.
Well, you could move Bobby Bozer around somewhere.
That's
and
true, yep.
Maybe figure it out. We'll try to think about that combination.
But the problem there is that none of the outfielders can move into the infield. So you're adding a fourth outfielder and you're taking away an infielder. So you'd have to immediately sub him out.
Macaulay, here's your song. Oh, it's happy days here.
I don't think he's given the signal yet. I'm not sure.
No, I don't think. Well, here we go.
There we go.
This is a very long meeting. And I wonder if Stu may have been just a threat.
Force their hand a little bit.
Yeah. Force Mike to make a change. Though the Gatemen were hitting against Hopewell. They lead this game 3-2. And I think right now they're doing some lineup card changes. So we go back to the mound for the Kettleers. Can't quite see a number yet. Looks like it is number 38, Paul Sean Pasqualato.
I got 39. Carson Osborne.
Ah. It's kind of difficult to tell. But you're right. It is Carson Osmer. Out of UPenn. Honorable mention All-Ivy. Reliever for the Quakers this season, allowing just 2 runs in 10 2/3 innings of work. 10 appearances during conference play. And that includes 10 strikeouts on 7 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings to close the regular season. Remember, Penn shocked the world. They got in a regional final down in Auburn. And they did that thanks in part to Carson Osmer. This season, a 1.83 ERA in 25 appearances, 34 1/3 innings pitched, 8 walks, and 35 strikeouts. Hard to find a better reliever like that.
Sidearm guys, got some sink, sweeping slider.
And the Gatemen have not seen him before.
Stewart's got his work cut out for him. Coming off the bench, too. It's especially hard as a pinch hitter to sit down and be out of the game for the first 5-6 innings and come in here and try to get hot.
So again, he's going to hit for Cologne, which means the Gatemen are going to either need to sub him out in the other half of this inning, or they're going to need to move some guys around. Here he comes, walking up with a whole lot of confidence, Zach Stewart, Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year. His numbers were just lethal.
Got to watch out for a first pitch slider here.
Okay. Osmer, quick check back to first. How about that? Before he even throws a pitch. He's letting Murillo know that he's got his eye on him. Now the pitch on the way. Little low to Stewart.
He got the slider, just wasn't up enough in the zone.
Lights are on here at Spillane Field. The 1-0. Now 2-0. He clearly doesn't want anything rising with Stewart. And with a side armor, sometimes you can get at least that effect. 2-0. Right down the middle, and Stewart with a big swing and a miss, 2-1. The runner on first is Murillo. Bozer led off this inning with a home run. And it's given the Gatemen a 3-2 lead. They've scored a run in each of the past 3 innings. Right side, that's getting through. It's a base hit. Murillo hangs on a big turn, and he scampers back to second. Stewart finally gets it. A pinch hit at bat. And he singles to move up the train. And they turn things over for Josh Stevenson, who worked a walk in his last at bat. Stevenson, Glancy, McLean. See if one of those 3 can do something big.
I like this move from Ryan Smythe because if you're going to sub Doherty and Gonzalez in the game next inning on defense, you might as well get his legs loose, get his mind into the game, and get him on first.
Well, Stu is smiling. He knows he did his job, and now he's done.
He left the day hitting 1,000.
He'll take it. So you would expect Gonzalez can kind of play anywhere. I don't think we're not going to predict quite yet where everybody goes, because it could be that Gonzalez just comes in at third. You could also put Bozer there. Off the end of the bat, left center field, found the gap, and it's going to roll to the fence. Rounding and scoring, Murillo. They're going to send Dorian. No, they're going to hold him at third. But it is an RBI double, a smash from Stevenson. And the Gatemen have a 4-2 lead with runs 5 and 6, dangerously close to scoring.
Just a beautiful piece of hitting for Josh Stevenson. He's officially hot. 3 games now he's been on fire. That one torched 96 miles an hour off the bat. The other way, went with the changeup.
Here's David Glancy.
Keep it going, keep the line moving.
Center fielder. First hit in his last at bat and takes it low and away. Right now you want to make Osmer work for this. Take a couple of pitches. He's missed a lot. 1-0. That one cuts in and goes in for a strike, 1-1.
David Glancy's timed up to that pitch now. He was seeing that one through, and if he throws it again, watch out.
1-1, 1 out, 2 on. And it's going to bite in on him, and he fouls it away, 1-2.
That's the hard thing about those side armors, because you start creeping over the plate a little bit, waiting for that slider, and then you got a 2-seamer that busts in on your hands, and you got to reset the strategy.
1-2 on the way. Osmer deals just low, 2-2.
Gatemen need to get these 2 runs across. Not every inning do you get 2 runners in scoring position, less than 2 outs. You get a little bit of Uncle Mo on your side.
2-2. Outside, 3-2. Well, Glancy is a right-handed hitter, so all these pitches from Osmer are very, very tough for him to look at. He takes that one for ball 4. Great walk worked. And now a conference on the mound as the bases become loaded. This, you're right, feels like a huge opportunity. The Gatemen have left the bases loaded once already. It was last inning.
The right fielder from Arizona
For Bourne, who plays Cotuit tomorrow, the Braves are probably peaking on this game and cheering on the Gatemen just work as many pitches and burn as many pitchers for tomorrow as possible. In this league, it's very much you get the pitchers out today, it can affect you tomorrow.
First pitch. Oh, McLean takes it down the middle, strike 1. Well, I think they also might be cheering. I think everyone in the West would give Wareham a nice high five because Cotuit's running away with things. They win tonight. It's their 10th of the season. They're the first to 10 in the league. 0-1, up the middle, base hit McLean. 1 run is in. They will hold Stevenson, so they just get the 1. But the merry-go-round is fired up. It's a 3-run 6th inning and still going for the Gatemen, 5-2. As McLean records his 2nd hit and his 3rd time on base tonight.
catcher from Arizona State, number 9.
With that slider to lefties, you got to be careful because the margin of error is so small. because you leave it hanging over the plate like that, you leave a chance for a lefty hitter like McLean to just slap it up the middle. You pull into inside, it's hard to get a swing, so it's really a sweet spot.
First pitch to Campos, strike one. McLean also has the benefit of being a switch hitter, so he's able to switch around instead of batting righty, where it's much more of a challenge. He just goes and bats lefty. And as you mentioned, that slider worked perfectly. For him, at least. 0-1 is outside, 1-1.
Bingo here. We need bingo.
0-1. Pitch. 1-1 rather. Finds the outside of the zone, 1-2. It's a 1-2 pitch. He fakes the throw to second.
Really got him with that one.
1-2. Swing and excuse me swing from Campos, and he did foul it off. I thought he fouled it in the glove of Loma Vida behind the plate, but no.
Just got enough of it.
Stuck around. Interesting Cape League scoreboard. We'll get it to you in a minute. 1-2, 1 out. Bases are loaded. Campos left side, chops it to third. They're going to get one out. Going to first. Scooped out, but off the glove of Thatch. Up to third is McLean. Campos will take it. Fielder's choice, and he reaches.
And I personally do not agree with how Glancy got that ball. I think they still could have gotten the double play if you came to the plate with it. And if you come to the plate with it, you get the force out. So the worst that happens is no run scores.
So we're scoring that a fielder's choice, correct? And no error at first?
Yes, but maybe an error to advance McLean to third?
Yeah, you're right. They advance him on the air. Landon Wallace, a strike, 0-1. Quick timeout. He's going to go talk and get a little mobism at third base. While they do that, Cape League scoreboard. Yarmouth Dennis 5, Harwich 2. Two of the more powerful teams in the East Division. So Harwich and Cotuit, the best two teams in the league right now, both trailing. Brewster 3 and Bourne 1, bottom 7. No score in the top of the fifth. Falmouth and Chatham, the worst two teams record-wise in the league. Wallace tips it 0-2. Two teams that desperately need a win. Falmouth and Chatham. And wouldn't it be laughable if they tied? And each took the point. 0-2 on Wallace. Runners on the corners. They both go, and it's fouled away. Wallace has the power. He could hit it into one of the alleys.
Or just over the fence.
That's true. He did that earlier. But he has the advantage of Campos and McLean both getting running starts. You could play two runners here if you find the right spot of the field. Campos quick. Has a lead on first. Pitch. Swings through it. Inning ended, but 9 come to the plate. And 4 come in to score. They get 4 runs on a total of 5 hits. There is 1 error. And the bases, 2 runners are left on base. Very different game. 6-2 Wareham. We go to the 7th on the Gateman Baseball Network. Tom and Gene Yawkey were passionate about baseball. Over 7 decades as owners of the Boston Red Sox, the Yawkeys greatly invested in youth and amateur athletics. They recognize the important skills baseball can bring to players both on and off the field. The Yawkey Foundation has been proud to support the Cape Cod Baseball League for more than 25 years.
As a proud sponsor of the Cape Cod Baseball League, the Mass State Lottery is celebrating the games we love playing, from the baseball diamond to the many lottery games that help support all 351 cities and towns across the Commonwealth. So here's to 100 years of Cape Cod baseball and 100 more.
Well, the theme tonight, as it turns out, is the night of second chances, especially when it comes to the pitching staff. This will be the second Gateman we've seen who had a less than ideal outing in Falmouth that gets a chance to redeem himself tonight. And that's Chance D'Aquila, the Campbell fighting Campbell. First one went pretty well.
This call to the bullpen is brought to you by attorney.
They gave Allen another chance, and I think he earns the check mark. Did leave the bases loaded, but got out of it. First batter he sees is T.O. Banks, strike one.
For Cotuit, the left fielder from Tulane, number 36, T.O. Banks.
1-0. 1-1. And you got to appreciate Ryan Smythe giving these guys another shot so early.
They're going to need to.
Right.
They're going to need to come in the game, so
right.
you got to trust them. You can't just ride them after the first game.
It's high 2-1, but the fact that he was willing to say, okay, you know, everyone has a bad day. It was cold. You're on the road. Everybody in that pitching rotation was getting beaten up. It wasn't one singular guy. And to do it so early, good on him. 3-1 the count. And we know he listens to the broadcast, so we'll give him a shout out. We don't know how much of the broadcast he listens to, but if he got this late in the game, hi, Coach.
Hello.
3-1 is upstairs, and D'Aquila walks the first batter he sees. Well, that was not how you wanted that to go. Kalai Harrison now, as they go to the 9 spot.
Now batting the shortstop from NC State, number 7, Kalai Harrison.
Cotuit has only left 6 runners on base tonight.
4 in the last 2 frames.
Low and in 1-0. Yeah. The first 4 innings of this game, they only left a runner on in the second. The Gateman pitching staff has really buckled down. The 1-0 deals a strike. It's 1-1. Gatemen are 5-6-1. A win tonight. Get them 2 more points, get them back to 500. Get him points 12 and 13 in the West Division. Runner goes outside. Throw down is on the money. Campos guns down another. First out of the inning as Banks gets shot down by the Sun Devil behind the plate. What a night Ryan Campos is having defensively.
It's a tough throw, too, because Murillo was a little late in there, so Campos has just got to throw it like he's throwing it into center field and hope Murillo gets over there, which he did.
First base side of the rubber. Chance deals a high strike, 2-2. He's picked off 2 runners tonight, trying to steal. And he was the back half of that with McLean out in right. It ended that last inning, and boy, was that fun to watch. It's the second time that McLean has sprayed someone out from deep in that right field corner. Saw it in Brewster, now he gets to do it in front of the home fans. He's got some kind of arm out there. I know he really never played right until this spring. There's a dying Quail and a base hit served up to left, but boy, has he come into that position really well. So Harrison reaches with a one-out single. We're back to the top of the lineup. Emilian Petre.
Number 4, Emilian Petre.
Petre, the second baseman, is 1 for 3, having singled in the 5th. From the set, D'Aquila offers. Fly ball, left field, chasing, and bobbling is Wallace. Throw coming into third is cut off, so runners are going to go to the corners. We're going to score to hit. Petre, a single. Put Harrison on third.
No batting.
The fact that Wallace was able to speed up and get there is, you know, he could have let that go off the wall. We're having a different conversation with Harrison around and scoring. But he's able to prevent anybody from scoring, and now it's Caleb Lomavita to face Chance. First pitch, swing and a miss. You can hear him grunting all the way from here. It works for some guys.
Unleash it.
Adds power. That's been scientifically proven, right?
Think so.
Up the middle. Double play ball. Murillo. The ironclad shortstop closes it out. D'Aquila struts off the mound and concludes the 7th inning. 6-3 double play. And the 7th inning stretch comes along with a 6-2 Gateman lead on the Gateman Baseball Network.
Out to the ball. I don't care if I never get back. Let me root for the Gatesmen. If they don't win, it's a shame. Or it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
What? Braden Shank, our own American Idol. Bobby Bozer had a great start to the last inning. He homered. Gets another chance here. Same 3 that led off last inning come up here because the Gatemen sent 9 to the plate in the 6th and have a 6-2 lead. Strike 1 to Bozer. Bozer, Hussey, Murillo, the 3-2 up. And boy, has this homestand felt good. Outside 1-1. Kind of felt like a 2-ton piano off the back when they won last night after all that went on, getting blown out in Falmouth and being heartbroken in YD. Swing and a miss 1-2. They turn it around, win last night, a commanding victory, and tonight, well, let's hope they can get the final couple of outs because this would be titanic in the West Division. They would be only the 4th team to topple Cotuit this season, 2-2 now. And this is only the second meeting. They will play 6 times, so 4 more after tonight. 2 at Lowell Park and 2 here. The 2-2 is sliced to right field. Incoming is Matheson and puts Bozer down. And again, one more tomorrow in the West that is probably equally as big because you haven't beaten the Harbor Hawks this year. They've won 2 here. You finally get a chance to get them back on their home turf.
Their team you're looking up at, too, in the West, at least right now.
Strike to Huss. Mark Manfredi gets the ball tomorrow, so you really got to win that one. Late swing and a miss, 0-2. Anytime Manfredi, Picard, Talent, even at this point, Aiden Major, the guys that can go deep into games, anytime one of them gets the ball, you've got to back them up with as much run support as you can and win that game. Because otherwise it just feels like a wasted opportunity. 1-2, 1 out. Fouled into the netting. We'll do it again. That is a 6 p.m. first pitch. We're excited to make our first trip of the summer to McKeon Park in Hyannis. 5:40, we're on the air.
Sunday Night Baseball on the Gateman Baseball Network.
1-2. Fouled away. I don't see a Hyannis probable yet.
Well, their game got rained out today, so.
Yeah, that would be why. And we can't access their probable that was going to go today. Though we've seen a couple of rainouts, and each time it's changed, fouled away. We saw Chatham got rained out the day before they came in yesterday, and they changed their probable. And the one time the Gatemen have been rained out this year, they changed their probable. It's 1-2, with Wareham leading 6-2. Hussey waits and strikes out. He takes a third strike. It's his second strikeout of the evening, and sets the stage for Sebastian Murillo, who's singled.
Number 3, Sebastian Murillo.
They're in the bottom of the 6th at White House Field, and Harwich still trailing YD. Good news for the Gatemen is that Bourne is still losing 3-1 to Brewster. That's in the top of the 7th. Left side, charging is Harrison. And it's a 1-2-3 inning, a very much needed 1-2-3 inning for the Cotuit defense to finish 6.5. The Gatemen still in front, though. 6-2 as we roll along on the Gateman Baseball Network.
Competitive pay, state-of-the-art facilities, and opportunities in service, sales, accounting, HR, marketing, IT, and more. A job at Milton Cat, the Northeast Caterpillar dealer, is more than a career choice, it's a choice career. Visit miltoncat.com/careers to join their growing team.
Summer, our players are able to track and monitor their development thanks to our title sponsor of the 100-year anniversary, Baseball Cloud, whose data tells the whole story. Baseball Cloud gives fans like you the opportunity to access each player's stats and historical data. Baseball Cloud technology is ushering the next 100 years of the Cape Cod Baseball League, inspiring and exciting the next generation of... Welcome back to Spillane Field, and here's Amanda.
Well, guys, I talked to Ryan Smythe before the game, and he said as much as every game is about matchups, he also cares a lot about having a team that really wants to be here, plays hard, and competes to the end. And the way that things are going clearly right now, he just wants his team to have fun playing baseball, get the win at the end of the day, and that's what the Gatemen are doing and have been doing for the entire night.
Well, I can tell you it's not just the players we want to be here. This is fun. This homestand has been wonderful. D'Aquila gets another inning of work. Swing and a miss. Leadoff batter is Ryan Galaney.
You got 6 outs to get, though, and you got to stay sharp through it.
The 0-1. Low 1-1. So the scoreboard's been updated since we last spoke. They're in the top of the 8th. Bourne has fought back. They lead Brewster 4-3. Again, Bourne is tied with Wareham for the 3 spot in the West Division. Fouled away 1-2. Those two teams go 1-2 in that division. And then the other update was there in the bottom of the 5th in Chatham, and the Anglers have a 2-0 lead on the Commodores. The 1-2. Fouled away.
I love how D'Aquila is going into attack mode. Last outing, he's kind of beating around the bush. To start this outing for him, a few walks here and there. Hunkering down now.
The 1-2. Shot to second and right at Bozer. 1 out. We should note there is a very big college baseball game going on tonight, tomorrow, and maybe potentially on Monday. And that is, of course, the championship series of the College World Series between Florida and LSU. Former Florida Gator Yoel Tejeda's here. Former LSU Tiger Josh Stevenson's here, and Renee Lastris is expected to be with the Gatemen at some point this summer. And he is currently with the Gators out in Omaha. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch goes outside to Ryan Walschmidt. And we should note, not tonight. I don't know, maybe tomorrow or Monday. Paul Skeens, former Gateman, is on the mound. Ball is outside. It's 2-0. And Skeens is expected to be a top 10 pick, potentially even top 5 pick in the Major League Baseball draft. Didn't appear in many games in Wareham, but we'll still claim him as one of our own. 2-0. Inside 3-0.
Well, Wareham should definitely claim him as their own because Wareham got Paul Skeens before Skeens was any sort of famous. He was a temp guy, Air Force.
Yeah.
Good mid-major player.
3-0. In for a strike. That was 2 seasons ago, the year after COVID that he played. And you're right, that was a full season before he ended up with the LSU Tigers. Sounded like a broken bat. It is a broken bat. Over to short. Sebastian Murillo, at least defensively, has earned player of the game.
Ground ball to short, you just look down, put it in your scorecard, 6-3. I mean, little doubt with Sebastian Murillo handling the job at shortstop.
Number 17, Cannon Peebles.
When are we putting together the All-Cape name team? Because I'd love to nominate Cannon Peebles for it.
He's got enough awards, I think, as it is. All ACC, all freshman team, a freshman All-American. Cannon Peebles has done very well for himself in a very short time in college baseball. The 0-1, fouled away. The 0-2 on the way. D'Aquila sets. First base side of the rubber. It's tap foul. Great tweet here from Falmouth sideline reporter Destiny Sanchez that 2 games go on during Cape League games. The actual game and the competition of the kids in attendance chasing after foul balls. I would agree on that.
It's fierce.
It is really fierce. And I would actually add there's a third competition between the bat boys or bat girls to see who can get a ball that goes to the backstop. Squeaks one into center, and it gets down on Galaney. It was fierce. What was it, Brewster, that we saw a real fierce competition?
Oh, yeah.
It's who can get there the fastest.
Good piece of hitting there by Peebles. Fastball low and away, and didn't try to pull it. He probably would have rolled over on it, just keeping his head on it, sending it to shallow left center field.
Pitch on the way to Matheson, outside.
You've got the trusty Lucas Malstead warming up in the bullpen for the Gatemen.
Gotta
right
love
now.
that.
Hot every night.
1-0 center field. This one very playable for Glancy. And it's the final out. We might get a chance to play Welcome to the Jungle as he walks in. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a runner stranded in the 8th for Cotuit. One last at bat for the Gatemen, hopefully, as they come up in the last of the 8th on the Gateman Baseball Network. We go to the last of the 8th. Finn McElroy out of Carlsbad, California, and UCLA makes his first Cape League appearance of the season. And his goal, Jack, simply just get it back to the 9th in a 6-2 game. I'm sure Cotuit right now is thinking about what YD did.
Oh, yeah.
In which they came back from down 4 against Wareham.
Well, and they're thinking about what happened to them 2 nights ago.
Right, exactly.
They're up 6-0 going into the bottom of the 9th. That game is not over.
Yeah, they know better than most. This thing is not over. Well, the hitter is Dorian Gonzalez, hitting for Cologne for the first time. This will be the first time he hits. He ran, I guess, in that spot, if that's what you want to call it. Stewart subbed in and got a base hit. Now Dorian gets an at-bat. Ball low. 1-0.
Dorian pinch ran off of a pinch hit from Zach Stewart in the 6th, looking to get a knock on his first at-bat this evening.
Quick timeout. Loma Vida comes to talk to his pitcher. One ball and no strike. On the full wind, McElroy deals low.
McElroy worked 16 games for the Bruins this past year. 4.5 ERA in 18 innings.
.2-0 offering from Finn. Swings and misses 2-1.
Working with fastball, slider, changeup. Up in the zone.
which is where he likes to live. Fouled away, 2-2. Two. Took a weird hop.
So I'm now being told that Landon Wallace's home run earlier in this game, 431 feet.
Yeah.
It's a big boy home run.
Yes, it was. Payoff pitch. On the way. Outside, ball 4.
The designated hitter from LSU, number 16, Josh Stevenson.
Josh Stevenson, the designated hitter now, and he's had a great second half to this game. Last 2 at-bats, double and a walk.
7 for his last 12. 2 doubles versus YD, double tonight, 2 singles yesterday.
Gonzalez is on first. In for a strike. It's the second time Gonzalez has been on base today, but the first time he's actually reached base, if you want to get into the nitty-gritty of it. It's 0-1, and you got Stevenson at the plate. Glancy's on deck. Looking for insurance, pulls the bump back.
And I like how methodical Ryan Smythe and the Gatemen are being right now, because every run is a big step forward. So just because you're up 4 doesn't mean you're going to be all free swinging and just, trying to mess around here in the bottom of the 8th. Runs are at a premium, even if you're up 4.
1-1. Low. Nice block by Loma Vida. Again, 6 tomorrow in Hyannis. Sunday Night Baseball gets underway at 5:40 from McKeon Park, our first trip of the year. Have we checked the weather?
Nope, take it one day at a time.
Got to ask about a tent, prevent YD from happening all over again. Poor Braden's stuck under a tarp. We can't have that. 2-1. Mike Roberts has gone out for a pitching conference, and that's about to get broken up. Roberts has cooled his jets since, a couple innings ago, looked like he was right on the verge of going home early. But his team has gotten beat tonight. There is no question about it. Maybe they rally here, but through, however many innings, his team has been outplayed. This Gateman offense came back.
I'm not saying anything until this game is over.
I said they could rally in the 9th. Oh, that gets away. That was just an ugly pitch that moves Cologne up. The Gatemen have had problems recently closing games. They gave up 2 runs last night, and obviously all those runs against YD. So we won't count our chickens quite yet. Gonzalez on second base, dancing around. And that is ball 4 for Stevenson. So a pair of walks to start this inning. Brings in David Glancy, who's reached in his last 2 appearances walk and a single.
So hypothetically, if the Gatemen were to win this game, is the Mobism shirt going to Landon Wallace or Bobby Bozer?
I voted for 2.
He's got one shirt.
I don't think either one can just have their performance singled out tonight. They have both hit very well. 1-0.
He cut the shirt down the middle?
Both with a home run. Wouldn't that be interesting? They both have a home run, and they both have hits outside of that. 1-0 is low. If you're going defensive, it's got to be Sebastian Murillo. Great performance from him.
And you get Cody Doyle-ism shirts for the defense.
I don't know. Ryan Smythe was out there coaching him earlier. The 2-0 is now 3-0. He was out there fielding balls today. He was there. He was right with him.
And before I filmed something with Bobby Bozer this afternoon, he was throwing him a meat knuckleball, and then Bobby had to see poor me just start spiking balls at his shins.
3-0. The pitch. Ball 4. And 3 consecutive walks from McElroy, who just can't find the strike zone.
If anybody out there knows how to get rid of the yips, I'm looking for a way out of it. I feel like talking about it is not productive, but
The right fielder from Arizona State, number 15, Nick McLean.
you'll see upcoming series playing catch with Jack. Bobby Bozer, first guest coming up soon. Talking, throwing the ball. Spent a lot of time going to chase the balls around. I was doing well until the end, and then the arm just and the brain just stopped working.
The arm and the brain. All right, well, here's Nick McLean. At this point, you got to be taking multiple strikes. The way that McElroy is thrown.
These are good hitters, though. I mean, you don't have to give them the red light. You can just tell them to be selective, and they're good enough to know when they get a cookie.
1-0 pitch. McElroy, we mentioned out of UCLA, just finished up his freshman season. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Just foul. And that goes fair. It's problems. 2-1. Great swing at it by McLean. They got a good one going at Bourne. 4-4 in the top of the 8th inning at Doran Park. The other scores have stayed the same. YD leading 5-2 in the top of the 9th inning up in Harwich. Would be a big win for them. 2-1. McLean snares it left field. There will be a tag. Here comes Dorian. Throw is really good. It's late and offline. Actually, it was ahead of time, but it was offline. And it does score JC's spot, which is Dorian. Stevenson does not advance. McLean gets credited with an RBI.
The catcher.
And Mike Roberts is back. How about that?
Saying he left early. Okay, we'll appeal it then.
Doesn't look like they're going to. No, they won't. Foul back. It's 0-1. Would be the second appeal of the season at Spillane Field. Remember the first time when the Gatemen walked it off, Bourne tried to appeal. And wouldn't that have been something if it was successful with half the team already down the first base line celebrating? The hitter is Campos. 1-1 on him. Gateman adding some insurance, a 5-run lead. Cotuit blew a 6-run lead in the 9th against Hyannis. The 1-1. Just low 2-1. Our first final of the night. The Armageddon Red Sox 5 and the Harwich Mariners 2. Mariners drop their 4th game of the season.
Yep.
They have one less win than Cotuit. They're 8-4. Fouled. 2-2. Still safely in first place, though, in the East Division. All right, well, something's going on up at Doran Park because it was 4-3 Bourne. Then it was 4-4. It's now 9-4 Brewster in the top of the 9th inning. And that's good for the Gatemen. Assuming they can win here, they would move 2 points ahead of the Braves. Wow, that is smoked, but well foul. So if that score is correct, the Gatemen should be in line to go up into sole possession of third place there and beat what was a scorching hot Bourne team. They were getting real good. After they played here, they got real good. They won a couple of games. They're in the top of the 7th, 2-0 Chatham over Falmouth. 2-2. Check to swing, and it's low, 3-2. And again, Orleans and Hyannis did not play tonight. They're postponed and will be made up on the off day. No, they won't be, because that is another game. They got to make up the next 2 off days. They're going to make up on July 3rd as well. That's when this game gets moved to. Checked his swing. And Campos is down on strikes. Isn't that interesting? Orleans has to play Brewster on Tuesday. The 2 games on Tuesday will be Orleans at Brewster and Harwich at Chatham. So that's interesting. Orleans is going to have a nice stretch of games there without an off day. The batter now is Landon Wallace, trying to put a cap on what has been a fantastic night for him. And a curveball gets up and in.
Lucas Malstadt still getting loose in the Wareham bullpen, anticipating the 9th for him.
One is en route from McElroy. Here comes. Snap throw to third, and safe. Oh, a double steal. At this point, Wareham is just adding insult to injury. Wow.
Got to get him across, though, to really do that.
I mean, a double steal there that's going to send Stevenson to third, Glancy up to second, and Wallace has a chance to really put this thing to bed. 1-1 to the Mountaineer. Foul away. West Virginia's brought some gamers to Wareham. Wallace, a 430-foot home run. Last night, Hussey hit a grand slam. The 2 pitchers tonight, Allen and Major, have done incredibly well. It's been a Mountaineer kind of night for the Gatemen. 1-2. And again, all 4 of those guys, late additions at least, you know, they came in a couple weeks late to the season by design. But boy, have they really stepped it up. It's been fun to watch. 2-2. Tapped into the glove of Lamavita. And that's the end of it. 8th inning is in the books. Let's go to the 9th on the Gateman Baseball Network. Lucas Malstedt, the gamer, comes in again and is going to face off against Jacob Tobias. Toby will be the first hitter in this 9th inning. It is the first time that the Gatemen have seen Toby this season, though he was on the roster last time. He has not started this season against Wareham. Tobias facing off against Malstedt. The opening at bat of the 9th inning. Ground ball right at Bozer. Perfect top, first out. And we've seen some balls that kind of get away from the infielders here, but last couple of nights, it feels like the infield's played very, very much to the Gatemen's favor.
Yeah, for sure. Get a nice Sunday hop there. Lucas Malstedt's going to be your electrician today at the Spillane Field Electric Factory, coming out of the bullpen, get some chills with the welcome to the jungle. And, you know, Malstedt's just a guy that throws strikes. Throws strikes to get outs. And that sidearm delivery misses enough barrels for him to be effective.
Going to Irvin Weems now. Another pinch hitter, so Mike Roberts empties the bench here in the 9th inning. Cut and a miss. Cotuit, should they lose, would drop to 9-4. Still a very impressive start to the season. Low 1-1, and given, you know, they've had roster turnover, they've missed off days. It's been very impressive. If they can keep a good chunk of this roster together, they're going to be fun to watch down the stretch. Maybe not for opponents.
Well, the thing for Cotuit is Brock Rodden, when their best hitter's leadoff spot, they released him because of the draft. You get another guy in Brett Bateman, the best hitter in the league so far, not playing tonight, just getting a day off.
You also lost Jay Harry. Weems with a wiffle ball swing, and he's set down. All arms there. 2 quick outs for Malstedt.
It's a wiffle ball pitch right there.
Yeah.
That thing had some get on it.
The shortstop from NC State, number 7, Kalai Harrison.
And they are going to go to Kalai Harrison. So he will be the one not to get subbed in this inning. Josh Pine is waiting on deck. He will pinch hit if it gets to him. First pitch, outside. And I think the number one thing the Gatemen needed late in this game was a guy to come in and just get 3 outs in the 9th. Last 2 games, it's been a little difficult to do that. They gave up 2 last night. They lost the game in the 9th in YD. So to have a guy like Malstedt come in and get 3 outs here, if he can, that is a huge, huge plus. Harrison is the hitter. He is the shortstop, and he has reached 3 times today. No wonder he's the one not getting subbed out. And Cotuit down to their final strike. It'll be a 1-2. Malstedt comes set and delivers. Outside ball 2. Cotuit has left a runner on in every inning since the 4th. A total of 8 runners left on base tonight. Barely stays alive in the count. 7-2 Wareham after a 3-2 loss earlier this season at Lowell Park. They're an out away, a strike away from getting the Cats back here. 2-2. 2 out. Pitch is outside. The count runs full. The 3-2 is on the way. Pitch. Swing and a miss. The Gatemen topple the best in the West. And they gain a crucial 2 points in the standings. 7-2 the final, as Wareham takes out Cotuit for the first time in 2023. Malstedt slams the door in the 9th. And Wareham improves to 6-6-1 on the season. They have earned 13 points in the young slate.
Gatemen continue to roll at home. Coming into this game 4-2 at home, now 5-2. They've pitched better at home, they've hit better at home. A great win tonight, taking down the best team in the league thus far this year.
These two teams will meet at Lowell Park in 6 days on June 30th at 5 o'clock p.m. And you kind of feel like this is going to become a very good rivalry, especially if Wareham can get towards the top and it becomes a battle for maybe first place in the West. There's going to be some fun games between these two teams all season long.
No doubt about it. The beauty of the West is you got 6 games to do something against.
We're just waiting on our player of the game. 7-2 the final. The Gatemen are 6-6-1. Cotuit is 9-4-1. Here's Amanda Foster with Keegan Allen.
I'm here with our Gateman Baseball Network player of the game, Landon Wallace. And Landon, you hit your first home run of the season. What were you thinking when you were rounding those bases and crossing the plate?
I was just really happy. I put a good swing on the ball. It left. All I could do. Baseball really took over after that.
Oh, and that ball went really far. Do you have any idea how far it went?
I didn't at the moment, but later in the game I was told, I think it went 431.
Yeah, and that's the longest home run in the Cape League so far this season. So do you have any reaction to that part of it?
That's really cool because the Cape is full of really great players. So having even if it's at the start of the season is really cool.
Oh, and a great team win today, Bobby Bozer. Also with the home run, you were able to capitalize on offense once again like you were last night. So what's the chemistry like for this team right now?
We're just getting rolling. Everyone really just came in now, so this is really good for us. Good momentum. We got another game tomorrow, another game after that, so this should be good, taking us forward.
And one word to describe your experience on the Cape so far, if you can find one, or two.
The best.
There we go. All right, thank you. Congratulations, guys.
The best. That's a great way to put it. The Gatemen 7 and the first place Cotuit Kettleers 2. The Gatemen again back in action tomorrow at Hyannis, a 6 o'clock start.
How about the offense showing up again, Aiden? 12 hits last night versus the Chatham Anglers. 10 hits tonight versus the Cotuit Kettleers. Two teams that have pitched the ball well at times, especially Cotuit. They've been dominant tossing the rock this year. 2 long balls today. Landon Wallace, that ball was crushed, and we found out how much it was crushed, and he knew it. And Bobby Bozer once again adding on to the long ball. So this team now is 5-2 at home, 2 straight wins. You win tomorrow night at Hyannis, and you make it a streak. How about this team's ability to bounce back? 3 straight losses during the week. You got the tie on Monday, so 4 straight games without a win. They successfully flushed the worst loss of the season versus the Whitey Red Sox. Worst game of the season, awful weather. Come back the next day. Great game yesterday. Great game today. And as you got to flush the losses, you also kind of got to flush the wins, too. You can't let it get to your head. So they got to get ready to go to McKeon Park tomorrow night against a team that's beat them twice this year. Mark Manfredi Day tomorrow. Going to be a good day for the Gatemen, hopefully.
Since the 12-2 loss at Falmouth, they have scored 20 runs over 3 games. And that's pretty darn impressive, even though one of those was an ugly loss. They've scored 20 runs over 3 games, so that kind of just shows you the bounce back that this team has and the tenacity that they have shown. And again, tomorrow they get to make it a streak, 3 in a row. They would get a chance to finally get one from Hyannis. They had a chance to get it. They lost by a run last time. They were beaten pretty badly early in the season, but they will get a chance to do it and do it on the road tomorrow. It would only be their 2nd road win of the season. So as important as it would just be to get a win, getting a win on the road, even more important.
Good teams win on the road, and you got to do it. Circling back to tonight, too, I can't get enough of this. How about Keegan Allen and Chance DeQuilla, 2 guys that against Falmouth earlier in the week could not find the zone, could not pitch effectively. Ryan Smythe gives them another chance tonight. 0 earned runs between the 2 of them. They weren't perfect, but they were definitely good enough tonight to keep the line moving and help the Gateman pitching staff have another strong outing against a Cotuit team that can swing the bat.
Brewster has defeated Bourne by a score of 9-5, so the Gatemen are officially in sole possession of 3rd place in the West Division, and they are now tied. Looking at that standing, actually, they now have the lead. They're going to 2nd because Hyannis didn't play tonight. So the Gatemen have jumped up from tied for 3rd to now officially in sole possession of 2nd. Tomorrow will be a battle for 2nd with the Harbor Hawks as the Gatemen try to catch the Cotuit Kettleers. They were red hot, not tonight.
You want to go home every night with a win. That's all you can do. That's all the Gatemen did tonight. And getting some luck with Hyannis not playing tonight, so they can't get a point. So you're going there tomorrow, up a point on them. You could get the 2 on them tomorrow and be up 3. And you never know. You run into a few wins here on the Cape. Cotuit, maybe they'll struggle a little bit. They've got to dip at some point, you believe. You don't see any Cape teams following this trajectory over the course of the year. So you just got to be in a position to be in a position over the dog days of the season.
Once again, our final score tonight, Gateman 7 and the Kettleers of Cotuit 2. Join us tomorrow night, our next broadcast at 6 p.m. from Hyannis. The Gateman and the Harbor Hawks at 6 p.m. Airtime is 5:40. The Gateman Baseball Network is a production of Wareham Community Television and the Wareham Gatemen. Our producer is Braden Schenk. Our other producer right here is Rachel Manning. Our director of broadcasting is Jay Spinelli. The president of the Gatemen is Glenn Hannington. For our entire crew and my broadcast partner, Jack Hunter. Hi, Sebastian. Our other broadcast associate, Sebastian Spinelli. I'm Aiden Blanc saying so long from Spillane Field. You've been watching Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gateman Baseball Network. You leave me hanging?
There we go. Good night.